He is not scared. He'll talk about himself. He'll talk about Sarah Sudicetti, Young Pharaoh. He'll talk about my ass. That's how he is, bro. But you know, Israel, me and Israel, we're cool. I mean, it seems like we're on Facebook and we're going at it.
Yeah.
About him, I can talk trash to him, roast him. Believe it or not, if he gets on here, you're gonna see how he is. I think you've seen that one video I had. He doesn't take offense. When you see me talking, there's no animosity. There's nothing like that. We just talk like that, you know. And a lot of people think that me and him are insulting each other. We're personal. No, he has tough skin, man. So I'm just letting you know, whatever. I'm
glad I can't. You know, these baby folks, I can't. I cannot do it, man. It's just. Like, man, he can't even start a conversation. They start getting emotional and start falling apart and crying. I'm like, where are the men at?
Yeah.
I've never, now, you know, we haven't really had a lot of really strong men in our, in our community, but they've never gone down to this point. I mean, they're so emotional and crying. They talk about the women, and I've never dealt with the sisters that have been so emotional like some of these guys have been, you know, especially on social media. It's so damn weak. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can take this. I just can't do it. But we live now. We live.
Okay, how do I put it on my Facebook? Do I go on your YouTube or I copy the link?
I think he's here.
Okay, bring it. Yeah.
He's here.
Man, what y'all niggas want?
Hey,
God damn it. Well, what happened?
Hold on.
What's up, nothing up?
Hey, what's happening?
I'm eating now, so we can talk and eat. I hope you don't mind if I talk and eat.
Okay, how do we put this on Facebook, Brother Taalik?
Yeah.
I guess you can share. You can share it some kind of way. How do you know how to do it in Israel? I don't know exactly how you do it. You should be able to share the link on your page. I know you can do that, but
okay, I'm gonna try.
You should be able to share the link on your page.
Are y'all on a camera or are y'all still? I don't see nobody moving. I see you moving out the league.
Yeah.
With all due respect, bro. You know what I mean? You're one of mine, so I'm gonna take it easy on you.
You go Brother Israel.
Hey, look, we hailing from the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
So we tell it like it is. We don't be sugarcoating shit up in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now. I speak. You can ask Gary, man. I speak truth to power. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't try to make people feel good or water myself down.
Yeah.
You can either take me 100 on 100, or you can get the fuck on.
Yeah.
That's just because everything. Gary will tell you everything I say is factual. I don't get into emotions. I don't get into gestures. Yeah. I don't get into what I think. I know.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you know, with all no, wait, hold on. With all that, how you say, with all of that said, Taalik, much respect to you. You know what I mean? But everybody gotta, when you get down to it, you gotta look at the foundation of everything. And from the tree without roots cannot survive. The branches can't survive. The leaves can't survive. The trunk can't survive. So when we get down to the root, that's where it's all at. So go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Taalik, real quick, how do you put this on live on Facebook? I try to copy the link, but if I put the link on Facebook, it's gonna be the link for somebody to get into, like what me and Isaiah is doing. Where's the? You put it on YouTube or Facebook? I'm gonna put it on my timeline, and I'm gonna tag Israel, tag you, and put it on my Facebook.
Well, I really don't. You
can go live on Facebook, can't you?
I don't know, really. I don't know how you do that. Only thing I know is you can put the link, and you can come to the link, or you can go live yourself. They only see you. They won't see our voices. They only hear our voices.
Huh.
There's a way you can do it, but I don't know exactly how you do that.
Oh, cool. So you don't have YouTube?
Huh?
You don't have it on YouTube? You say you don't know how to do it?
You're breaking up. I don't know. Hey, brother, you got a lot of background noise back there. You got some songs or music playing in the background?
Hold on. I'm sorry. Hey, Gavin ko in bahay ka ba yeah, okay. Hold on, guys. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I had the control in my hand. No, go ahead, Mama.
Hey, let me tell you something, Israel.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me tell you something. Man, I've been knowing you for me and you've been buddies for about 3 years, and we've been, we always have fun, and we've been intellectually sparring and what have you and stuff and what have you. I've been knowing brother Angel Snupnuff for damn near 11 years, man.
Yeah.
I've been following him. I even actually met him. I shot you his video link YouTube a long time ago. He's a very strong brother. He's a harsh critic of everything and everybody, including me. I mean, we went at it a long time ago. We went at it. We reconciled. Yeah. I did one of his first interviews on his radio Blog Talk when he had Blog Talk Radio.
Chrome or
I respect him.
Is it better on Chrome or
there you go talking. There you go interrupting like you did in that last damn thing.
No, I'm saying that there's a connection problem. Is this better on Chrome or what?
Better on Chrome.
Yeah, they say it's better on Chrome.
Okay, hold on. Let me hold on. Let me go over to Chrome. All right, I'm gonna be right back. Hold on.
All right.
Hold on.
Yeah, brother. God, what was you talking about, boy? It was brother Taalik was on yesterday. I listened to him. You put a video. Sometimes I don't know if it's live or it's a prior recording, and I commented. I said, "Oh, it's a pre-recorded thing." Man, I said that brother Taalik. I thought I was ferocious. Damn, what the hell? Or you just be what's going off on it. I like, God, that brother Taalik is unrelenting. God, you talking about man, you just like how I've been doing, man, but you do it in a different delivery.
Yeah.
You on the blackity black like conscious and what have you and stuff, man. And you just says that like you always says that they don't do anything, what are they doing? And I was like, dang, because when I be driving, I check out your videos. And that's what I do a lot of. I don't even listen to music that much. I always fill my head up with information. And I got you on that bell when you upload something. Boom, I'm there.
Right.
Yeah, I'll wait till Isaiah get his ass up in here and stuff, man. But I got something to say. Excuse me if I'm not trying to say what I'm going to say to his ass. And then, of course, this is your platform. Okay, send me the link. Okay, he said send him the link. I don't know why he just. Oh God! See, he's banned from YouTube. This dude got a multi-expensive studio.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him did our first little discussion on Google Hangout, and that inspired him to get him. And he said, give him about 8 months. I think he spent over $11,000 or $12,000 on mics, software, and went on the background. Hold on, he's trying to. On the background, he has that green screen.
Yeah.
And he was on there, but he like it had. He went on there and started going off talking about white people all goddamn day. And I mean going off on white people, and they banned him. And I told his ass he didn't want to listen. I said, man, that's YouTube, bro. And I says, anybody that's real familiar with his Angel Snuffing Up 7, because he had over 90, 100 video of his channel, YouTube channels terminated. I mean, went to legal things against YouTube, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I remember that. That was a long time ago. You had a legal battle for you to restore or to have your right to, be what you're doing right now. I'm waiting for that old. So when you hear me talking, this is how me and Isaiah talk. That's how I talk when I go at home. So you know how it is, how us black folks, when we get together, we talk. You know, we roast each other and high side on each other.
Right.
But man, who is this? Hold on a second, bro.
Okay.
I knew it. That's them. I'm gonna have to drive my truck to. Hello?
Yes, this is Brian Shop.
Yeah.
Hey, Gary, we can get you to pull up outside of door
Number 2? Okay, you got it, man. All right. Bye. All right, so let me just drive up here. I'm gonna put this thing on, whatever. I don't want to.
And I'll go ahead and make my little commentary while you guys are getting yourself together.
I'm gonna block my video and stuff real quick.
Okay. Well,
you can go ahead, bro. I'm listening.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome once again to another edition of what we call the Realist Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I'm the gatekeeper, the host of this program, the mighty one, Angel Snuffing Up 7. And I'm also your soul brother, number 1. Actually, felt a little bored today. I'm tired, but I'm a little bored. And I was going to make a 15-minute video. Then I decided, why not invite some of my crew out here and join the conversation. I have special guests here. Our soul brother, Brother Cool Cutter, Brother Gary, and another brother you saw a little earlier. I guess he's having a little technical difficulties, Brother Isaiah Israel. And they want to get together and hash it up or whatever. And that's what we're going to do. So thank you for joining me for these brief minutes. While these brothers have some business they need to take care of, they'll be right back. In the meantime, I am going to do my little commentary before this general discussion, really. And whatever these brothers want to talk about, I don't even have to be here. Whatever these brothers want to talk about, they were supposed to have a debate. We're going to talk about that. They were supposed to have a debate earlier, but it was postponed. Maybe they're going to get down on this channel. Who knows? So shout out to my YouTube. Shout out to my chat room. Shout out to Facebook. Let me make sure Facebook is going. All right, Facebook is strong. Facebook is doing good. Everything seems to be going right on YouTube through StreamYard, powered by StreamYard. Where's that sign? It's over there somewhere with the duck. And on this Venisey, let's get busy. Any questions? Matter of fact, see, let's not be prejudiced. I got a troll. Let me put my troll comment up there. Unlike the host, this guy's truck looks more together, and he is at least trying to look fly while trucking. Thank you. Thank you for that comment, sir. Appreciate it. Now, with that said, giving this fella some attention, I don't understand. That's what I don't understand about a lot of folks out here. They just they just have to have, they looking for attention. So I gave you a little attention. I hope that you're happy. Check out this info. What's up there, brother Malik?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm all right, sir. Hold on a minute. Oh yeah, look, we're gonna have a full house tonight. Glad to see you here. And
yeah, what's the topic, man?
Well, actually, the topic is general. It's just a general discussion, but I did want to just make a brief commentary real quick. You know, whatever you brothers want to talk about. I got brother Gary here with me, and I got it's another new brother Isaiah, and they want to ham it up. Not ham it up. We don't eat pork here, I guess. I don't do that. But you know how, you know, they just want to throw some stuff around. Oh, he's back, brother Isaiah.
All right, I'm gonna drop out and listen in, man. If I feel like contributing.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We don't see you.
Hold on. I'm starting the cam now. There you go. I'm still eating. So you know how that goes. You know how black folks, when they eat, they don't give a shit.
Y'all hear me?
Brother, go ahead and finish.
I'm just munching away, but come on. Wait, Gavin.
He had to move his truck. You know, he's trying to get he got a flat or something. So you can just do your thing. I'll make my little brief commentary. Oh, he's back already. He moved real
Can y'all hear me?
What happened to Gary, man?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh,
you
okay.
hear brother Isaiah?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hear that. Ugly.
Yeah.
All-headed, algae eater looking.
Yeah. Well, you just go ahead and enjoy your meal, brother.
Yeah.
I'll do my quick commentary. By the time I finish, you brothers be ready to do your thing. General discussion, whatever y'all want to talk about is all good to me.
Let me tell Isaiah something real quick.
All right, go ahead.
I've been knowing Isaiah for a minute, man. I mean, we intellectually spar and what have you. I mean, we're very versatile. Hey man, you gotta turn your damn mic on mute, Israel. Turn your thing on mute. Isaiah.
He froze up.
Yeah, he needed froze up with that pseudo scholarship he got.
Okay, that
comic book crayon box scholarship. Hey man, let me tell you one thing, bro.
Okay.
You put that on that comment. You hear me? Let me tell you one thing. You put that comment. Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing. You know me. I don't front. I don't act like I'm this. I don't act like I'm that.
I don't want to hear that.
Put your thing on, Mike. I mean, mute.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Put it on mute. You know how to put it on mute?
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, brother. Okay, thank you. Let me say this. Now, see, there you go. You ain't even put it on mute. Okay, I'm gonna talk, and I'm gonna say, please don't interrupt me, man.
Oh, yeah, you do. You.
Bro, come on, let's have respect, man. Angel Snuff, brother Taalik got things he got to do. He is allowing us to freestyle and say what's on our damn mind, and I'm about to say what's on my mind. All right.
He's on mute right now.
Huh?
He's on mute right now, brother Gary. Okay,
good. Let me tell you like this, Israel. That thing that you post about talking about I'm depressed and all that kind of stuff, bro. Let me tell you like that. I don't think I'm better than nobody. I don't think I'm less than nobody. I don't try to walk in front, nor do I try to walk behind anybody. If anything that I do is I try to encourage and I try to walk side by side with that person. I try to give them a level of inspirations, aspirations, and encouragement. Yes, I am a little abrasive and I am Rob. I've been like that. And I'm not one of, like I said, I told Angel something a long time ago. Fuck being real, because that fucking being real has been misappropriated. Be honorable. Now me on Facebook, everybody and their mama know me on Facebook, all right? And I wear my emotions on my damn sleeve and what have you. Yeah, you damn right. I'm introspective. I have emotional intelligence. So therefore I do convey the way I feel, all right? Now you talk about, when I was talking about Facebook, the reason why I want to leave Facebook, there's a lot of things and vices where I want to amputate myself away from. And Facebook is one of the, okay, no problem. And Facebook is one of the things that I'm trying to do to get off, what have you, that I'm trying to eliminate. Now you talk about I'm depressed. I've been on 5 funerals. 5 funerals. You know what I'm saying? 5. I just got buried somebody, what have you. And then 2 weeks ago, buried that and buried my second mom. You damn right I'm a little depressed. I'm mourning. I'm grieving. And I have a philosophical way that I feel about mourning, all that kind of stuff. Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty, bro. Let me tell you one thing. You need, I'm telling you, man, sometimes you talk about what you just talked about, Brother Taalik, about 5 minutes ago, talking about you the real deal and all that other good stuff. Now, you're a person that wrote 3 books. And that last book that I got from you, that you wrote 4 or 5 years ago, I told you on the very first page of your damn book, I found an error. And you told me if you found one flaw or discrepancy in your book, you said you're going to remove it off of Amazon. And you still have not addressed and I imposed when I said that Homo sapiens sapien, you said it was 1 million years old, and to this very day, you have not yet to cite a primary source. What you did is you saw some goddamn bullshit off of some damn alien creationist website about some 200 and 500 million old sandals that they found in cement or some damn thing. You need to start. Like I told you, when you wrote that book, I read your book, and I told you your book looked like it was written while you was in an automatic car wash after your ass left the bar. It's unprofessional. It's cluttered, and you still, when those dudes, when you go over there and you debate against the Latinos and the Native Americans, all we say is extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. You do not provide no evidence. Anything that is asserted without evidence is dismissed without evidence. So if you're so much of a professional, I ain't never claimed to be a scholar. I'm just a truck driver. You're the one that wrote 3 or 4 books. You're the one that's up there making all these nefarious and spurious assertions and these out of the ordinary claims and what have you. And that's why I rebuke pseudos. I try to tell you, you know what I'm saying, if you're so professional and you're so much of a damn scholar and you're an author, when are you going to cite primary sources? I don't want to read no memes like you did yesterday when you was debating against the Latinos that was written 1920. If you knew about true scholarship, you would know that you should cite and put up current scientific journals and whatever. You ain't, like I said, you ain't nothing but a microwave, just add water, Dorito flaming hot scholar. That's what you is and what have you. You don't provide anything. You came on Taalik and told Taalik, man, I don't care what I am. I tell the truth and I'm a raw whatever and shit. All you do is what I'm doing right now, but yet I'm up there scrutinizing and describing your pseudo double wall banger scholarship. You know what I'm saying? I don't get on Taalik because Taalik don't claim to be a scholar. Taalik just comes straight from his nuts. He comes from his heart, and he uses Occam rays and what have you in his style. But he never claims to be a scholar. He's a social, political, and religious, theological critic. You, on the other hand, is claiming to be a damn scholar. Now I'm not going to question your credentials because your work speak for itself. And just like I said, every damn time you talk, you end where you begin, holding an empty sack. I'm off the mic.
Well, it seems as though I won't get a chance to say anything. It's already popping already. So, Brother Israel got to come back and say something, respond to Brother Gary. So, Brother Israel, the mic belongs to you, brother. Go ahead, shoot. he just go ahead, brother. You don't want to address
He can't. He can't. He always do what he always do. He do what he always do.
All right, look. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
I'm putting myself on.
Can y'all hear me? That's all I want to know.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to address that. I just want to make sure you can hear me.
Yeah.
Cause I done did this and talked about this. I don't know how many times. And the last time we talked about it on his show, it lasted 3 hours. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Look, I've read a lot of books, studied with a lot of top scholars, white and black, if you want to call it that way. And I come to the source of the information. Now, one of the things that he talked about is these fools, Sandoval, Red Cloud, and Olmec. These people don't understand Spanish when C.C. Marquez was writing in Spanish and what the hell that meant. One minute they're saying, well, you know, that is true. He was saying that, you know, black folks were down there in Mesoamerica and all of this, and they established those civilizations. And then the next minute, well, he talking about black people being inferior. If you understood it in Spanish like I do, you come over with a whole different frame of thought and understanding, because that man cannot be giving information in regard to black people being the foundation of Mesoamerica, South America, America, period, the Caribbean, and then the next second he's talking about niggas ain't shit. If I can put it that way. They're inferior, if I can put it that way. That's not what he's saying. But I'm not going to argue with a bunch of fools who claim that they're the Mongoloid race. A Mongoloid person is a genetically defective person at the 23rd chromosome that makes them look like a Down syndrome baby or person. That's a Mongoloid person. There's no such thing as a Negroid or Caucasoid, unless you're talking about people who are derivative or coming from Caucasian people. A true Caucasian, a true European, a true Chinese, a true Japanese, a true Asiatic, a true American, a true whatever, have always been black people. That has been a well thought out, well researched, and a well-founded fact. The first people on the planet, on this planet, I don't know about any other one, but on this planet were black people, from which all other people come from. There's no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts, there's no arguing about that. There's no, you know, like these fools that Gary was talking about that was trying to get on me about. I told them, I like, then where do white people come from? Oh, they had what they were black and they changed the white, why they still black? If you buy that hypothesis. But they come from Dravidian albino. They are a genetically mutated person. And these albinos are still catching hell from regular black people in Africa. So, with all of that being said, if the first people on the planet were black people, which we know they were, then all other people come from us. That has been a well-settled issue. There's no and, there's no if, there's no but, there's no I think or I might want, or it could be. And you can't go down that road. That's a dead-end street. You cannot argue facts. That's a dead-end street. What must be done, what must be said, what must be accepted are the lies that have been told by Blumenbach, Meisner, and even Meisner and Blumenbach said we made a fucking mistake. Because at some point in the future, this shit gonna come back and bite us in the ass, and that's exactly what is going on right now. White folks are nothing but bleeped out niggas. They tried to make it look like it's not, but in the movie Star Wars, you see Luke trying to fight the fact that Darth Vader was his daddy, if I can put it that way. You know what I mean? So this is the very reason why white folks have a hard time trying to excuse my son, trying to rectify and deal with the lies that they've been taught generation after generation after generation after generation. It has turned them a new asshole. Now, there have been some white folks on my channel and on my Facebook page who know the truth, and they don't mind it. And I had it out with a guy who, I can't remember his name. Excuse me if I can't. But he came to the conclusion that, well, yeah, you are right. I said we all come from the black man and woman. That is true, and that makes everybody black. And that ends the discussion. There is no arguing about facts. The fact that you are seeing me here and talking, you can't argue that. Not like you're a goddamn fool. So in the end, Red Cloud, Sandoval, Odie. Hold on, man. Yeah, I didn't interrupt your ass when you were talking. So hold on. So all of these fools that you talking about, that Gary, I didn't bring no truth to the table and all that. And Marquez is going back to 19. I don't give a fuck if it was 120 years ago. The fact is that in 1876, the Civil Rights Act was passed that gave everybody in America the right to citizenship and all of its privileges. It ended Plessy versus Ferguson. That shit don't hold no goddamn water no more. So if you go back, hear me out. If you go fucking back 150 fucking years ago, 1876, in regard to the 1964 Civil Rights Act and 1968 or 67 FHA Act, does not give no more validity to the FHA Act and the Civil Rights Act, a 66 or 64, whatever it is, more credence and more believability and more valid and more validity than the one in 1876. It's bullshit. These guys, Sandoval, Odie, Olmec, they're like the 1966 Civil Rights Act, or whatever the fucking year it was, or the FHA Act. It has no validity, it has no substance, it has no protein, it has no bone to the motherfucker, and it has no blood to it. You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line of it all, where the fuck do you stand? What is your valid witness?
Breaking, you broke up, brother Isaiah.
And how white folks are playing that shit. They know it's fucking hands. They're playing that shit because they know they are in control of the system. And we are not in control of that. You understand what I'm saying? They use in de jure along with these factors, prejudice, and racial angles that have allowed them to have control, especially now and in the South. They know that if we ever wake up to the general facts that the U.S. Supreme Court are working well beyond their scope of business, and there's a different system out of whack, and that the 1876 Civil Rights Act is like a fucking shotgun to the face of white wannabe supremacy, which is nothing but a liberation ideology from black oppression that we put on them. Give me a fucking break. Don't fucking play the game, and don't hate the play, and don't hate the game. Hold on, don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. I will tell you, fucking finish. Now I allow you to speak. Now you're gonna let me speak. Now the idea is very quickly that I stand on what the fuck truth is. I don't move from that motherfucker, and as long as I am on this channel here, you're gonna hear it from me because our ancestors are speaking to you through me. Do you understand what the fuck I'm telling you? There was nothing more stronger than facts, nothing more stronger than truth, nothing more stronger than justice, nothing more stronger than righteousness. That is exactly what the fuck I'm standing on. You cannot deny it, period, ever. If you ever do, because you're a weak ass motherfucker. You're a bony ass motherfucker who ain't got no backbone. You have no consideration about our ancestors and everything.
And I guess that's the system trying to tell his ass, get your ass up and down. Would you hurry up, dude? I just asked you about what is true scholarship, and you do what you always do. Get to the damn point.
can't even.
Damn. You did that on my damn live stream. You talk too damn much. Get to the point. Quit around giving us a lecture about your rhetoric. Damn. You always did it. You did that on my last host. You get to talk and we talk about truck engines. Your ass start talking about airplane propellers.
We can't even.
You can tell it. I got my son with me. He knows what the truth is. He's only 2 years old.
Bro, address the question when I posed to you. You went off. You deviated off the script. We're talking about a certain. You damn, you talk, bro. You talk too damn much, man.
I don't even understand. And plus, he's.
Are you done?
Well, wait a minute. I'm going to answer the question.
Bro, you should have done that from the get-go, man. Goddamn.
Yeah, we
Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, I hear you. It's his technical difficulties on his end.
Man, the system's trying to tell him to hurry up and put it in second gear and quit with all his preambles and say what he has to say and address specifically what I posed to him. He did just like he did on my damn when he came on my live stream and what have you and stuff. I can ask him about a bicycle. He'll start talking about mermaids and then he'll drift off and talk about airplane propellers and ain't got nothing to do with what I asked him, what have you. See, that's what he always does. Talk specifically about what I address, about where's your damn evidence. I am not against understanding our history and our heritage and what have you and stuff. I used to be like that when I was younger. I used to be like that. I used to be deep in all those these fringes and this obsession and everything predicated and this preposition and preliminary is always based on race and all that kind of stuff. And I wanted everything to be black. But I come to find out when I got re-educated, I told the truth about my damn self and start with this cognitive dissident and told the damn truth that everything you just can't shoot an arrow and then build and draw a damn target and where you want it to go. That's why I've learned how to understand and re-educated myself with scholarship. That's all I'm doing. I said, I'm proud to be who I am and what have you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's doing that kind of stuff. You're doing it because you're still stuck in that 1980 rhetoric when we was going through we was going to rehabilitation stage. But a lot of us now, we're in 2019 now. That's the reason why you're seeing Hebrew Israelites and all these other conscious groups getting tore up by white folks, by Christians, by Muslims, Arab, Middle East, and Latinos, and Native Americans, because they understand the proper modern scholarship that y'all still stuck and fixated, embedded, entrenched, and still using that rhetoric, like I said, that X-Clan, boogie down production, fight the power in the neighborhood rhetoric. That was good at the time, but we live in 2019. It's about to be 2020, and we're not using that kind of pseudo stuff. And that's the reason why I told you, what is the difference from true modern scholarship that goes through the rigorous things of being scrutinized through peer review, other independent people from all over the world. You got black folks, Mexicans, Japanese people that's in that field that independently and they objectively scrutinize that kind of stuff. But y'all don't have nothing to scrutinize. Y'all go on YouTube, Facebook, y'all make these YouTube like that, what's his name, Galloway dude, who makes a beautiful, and he sews up these videos that any ignorant and people with a good heart might watch that video and say, oh my God, Captain Crunch was a damn ancient black Moor. It looks so good, but when you put it on the goddamn scholarship, because you talk about emotions, you put y'all emotions on because that's what y'all want to believe. I'm a person the same way. When I make a bet, I don't bet on my sentiments, I bet on the math. And when you're a good, true scholarship, you got to set aside and understand and recognize your biases and your preconceived notions, and you go by what the goddamn facts say. We formulate our theories to the facts. Y'all do it in reverse. Y'all twist the motherfucking facts. Y'all distort the evidence, and you bend it to go through your pre-conclusion on what y'all wanted to do. And like I said it from the beginning, where is your evidence? Where is your primary sources? Where is it? Where is your primary source? And the best thing that you do is you put a meme up from 1920. Where's your evidence? That's what I'm trying. I don't want to hear about all the civil rights and Malcolm X and Dr. Khalid Muhammad. We're talking about scholarship. So where's the evidence?
I don't know. We couldn't hear you, brother. We couldn't hear you. Your mic was on mute, and you was talking. I didn't, and you distorted. You have a bad connection. Couldn't hardly hear what you had to say.
No, you sounding you're breaking up, Isaiah. I'm using my phone, bro. I'm using my phone. And I hear Brother Taalik real good and what have you, but you're breaking up. At first you were sounding good, Isaiah, but then after a while, when you got long-winded, you started to fly on a kite and what have you, and then that was the system of the universe trying to tell your ass to hurry to put it in second gear and get off the goddamn mic.
We don't know what to.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to say, Brother Taalik. I mean, anybody that's watching. I'm just trying to tell that these people who come in here, they're pseudo, they suffer from personal incredulity, they have a profound misconception and a dubious misunderstanding about things, and they're anti-intellectual. Well, if you get that information, that's from the white man. But if it works for them, then they say, oh yeah, okay. But I say, ain't y'all using the white man scholarship? That's called confirmation bias. And I learned all that pseudo stuff because I used to be a pseudo. I wanted everything to be black and all that kind of stuff. And I used to talk that kind of stuff. And then I realized that stuff don't work. You're going to be sitting around mad at the damn world and what have you, shit, pity patty and all that kind of stuff. And then you go back home, like I said, eating chicken noodle soup. Then your ass is working over there for the white man, all that kind of shit. And your whole life is going to be set up against you and what have you. I live in this goddamn world, and I'm going to work. I know it's a messed up. It has a lot of injustice and inequality and what have you stuff, but I'm not going to labor on that. I'm going to do the best while I'm living on this body that I live in, and I'm going to understand the marketplace. I'm going to understand the language, and I'm going to understand how to use the proper tools and discover the tools and do inventory on myself to know how I can navigate in this damn world instead of worrying about being mad about this person and about that person. And that's what he does in his scholarship and his anthropologies. I don't even think he knows genetics. I don't even think he knows anthropology. He talks about the mongoloid. We know that we're just using the word mongoloid, which is a misnomer that they used to use back in the day. But we use it just to make the distinction and the classification so y'all can understand. We understand that they don't use that word Caucasoid and Mongoloid and Negroid and what have you, but we say it for the sake of for simplicity so that we all understand that. See what I'm saying? And you got to understand proto, and you need to understand paleo, mongoloid, and proto-mongoloid, and Euro-Asian about the Armenians. And you need to understand genetics, which I know that you don't understand. That's a personal incredulity because you don't understand it. Because I don't understand it, I disagree. My only evidence against what I believe is the white man, or I just don't believe it. Because I know I don't understand it. Like I said, I don't even know how a goddamn a helicopter flies. To this damn day, I got 3 college degrees. I don't know how the fuck a helicopter does, but just because I can't understand what it is, then it's not true. I don't understand how a goddamn atom can harness so much damn energy. If you split it, causes a chain reaction, and it can blow up a goddamn small city and what have you. And that sounds impossible. That's personal incredulity, but it's a fact of life. And just because you want to make everything black and all that kind of shit, that's on you. But you need to show your evidence and your scholarship if you're going to contend with the modern scholars of this damn day. If you're going to dispel and break the paradigm, you better do like Dr. Diop did back in the days. He understood. He went in there and learned the educational, and he didn't sit there and say, "Oh, it's the white man's and all that." That's what's wrong with these guys there, because they're still stuck in the 1980s, still using that old ass rhetoric. And it's not fucking working. And that stuff is nothing but doing nothing but compounding the problems in the black community. They're still stuck wearing Wonder Woman, joining the Hebrew Israelite, putting Wonder Woman bracelets on like they're going to ricochet bullets. That ain't going to do shit in a brick fight and get mad and what have you. That ain't nothing but reactionary and escaping and seeking refuge to a racial idealistic canopy. But in reality, it ain't doing shit. But in their mind, they think they're beating the white man because they got God on the side. And hopefully one day, 300 million angels will crack over the sky and kill the white folk. That's racist, man. That's bullshit, too. So where's your scholarship, bro? And what do you even know what pseudoism is? Do you know what pseudo is? Do you know what pseudo is, bro?
You want to know something, Brother Gary?
Yeah.
Quite honest. I don't know.
No, not you, Taalik. Not you, Taalik. I'm talking about Isaiah, not you.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Isaiah, but to be quite honest, I'm gonna tell you, I don't think my audience want to get into this type of, because
Okay.
we don't.
Okay. All right, bro.
Because really the information that he's trying to bring belongs in a classroom somewhere.
Okay, you got it. You got it.
And there's no information. There's nothing that he can say, or this conversation they can say. How does that information help us to get out of this condition that we're in? This is the question. How does this information, how does talking about mongoloids and the black man is the first man on the earth and all like this, how does that help us from getting out of this condition that we find ourselves in? You hear me, Isaiah?
Damn, my bad.
Isaiah has some kind of a technical difficulty. He can't hear. It makes no difference anyway. I don't think the conversation, it does nothing to help us in our condition. How does this conversation help us get out of this condition that we find ourselves in? That's what I want to know.
One thing about living in this world that we live in is a society with a lot of variations, and every elements and aspect of a society. It's just like anybody, when you're born and whatever. Some people have an affinity of being a musician. Some people have affinity to be a mechanic. Some people got affinity to be an artist and what have you and stuff. I mean, it's almost infinite, just like a fingerprint to a human being that's unique only to that individual, right? Me, I'm versatile. I mean, I love music. I love to learn how to play the guitar. I'm a truck driver. I like to do other things. The thing that we're debating about is scholarship. That's part of our education. That's part of our thing, what have you. And what it does for me, and it can help others and what have you and stuff, is to learn how to discern and ascertain information, how to distinguish what is true and what is false, and to utilize critical and analytical thinking. And that's, I know that you're right. It doesn't really help on the aspect of the collective, or since we're speaking about black folks in particular, like it's going to encompass and help black folks. And that element right there is scholarship, is to learn how to, because I really believe that pseudoism is a disease that's in the black community. They're retreating to a thing, an idealistic thing of believing, they're stuck on, we're the first. Like you were saying, why are we, a lot of black folks are caught up and we're the first this, we're the first that. What is the first that? And I'm trying to tell them is that is fallacy. That's an obsession. They're stuck on it. And people are running around while they're sitting there thinking that super hotel and super heru, asaru and what have you and stuff. And putting on these garments and all that, and then their mind is thinking they're this, but in reality, it doesn't reflect on the reality it is. So they're retreating to this belief that, I think I'm just because I'm super black and all that kind of stuff. I understand studying your heritage and understand so you can reinstill that pride and that dignity and all that kind of stuff. And and unfortunately, it has been taken away from us black folks, and we need to rediscover our thing. But I'm rediscover our history because it has been suppressed, it has been concealed. It has been repressed from us, and we have to toil. We have to work. We have to work hard to get the information, unlike white folks and what have you shit. So that's why I believe why understanding in this particular thing we're talking about scholarship is that it's saturated, has proliferated in the black conscious community, and that's the reason why I made those video essays about the fringes of the black, because a lot of black folks are retreating to this belief. They're either being a Moorish. There's kernels of truth in it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say the totalitarian is wrong. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm seeing a lot of youngsters, which is good in some way, but they're just getting caught up in this obsession. When a dude comes up to me and says, "Oh man, the Hebrew Israelites, we're the Hebrew Israelites, and we're the first commit and what have you and stuff." And then I'm listening to them and I say, "Tell me a little bit about it." And then I realize they don't even know what they're doing. They go on YouTube and they listen to these shade tree. I don't know, these shade tree goddamn Roman noodle, just add water scholars, and they follow these damn dudes and what have you. And then when you go over there and contend, like saying that we're the first people, black folks, like Isaiah said, just because we're saying we're black, I understand the social construct, because a social construct is the physical characteristics of a shared characteristics and traits and or ethnic or customs and traditions that make it is a social agreement that, yeah, I'm black, but genetically, you know what I'm saying, we're all the same thing. Unfortunately, in this world, we do have a racial stratification and a divide and what have you. But how it helps to me is to utilize critical thinking and learning how to ascertain and discern information properly. You have a lot of these kids getting caught up in these damn fringes and these pro-black groups and running around telling everybody that and doing the same thing white folks used to do back in the 18th and 19th century, and now black folks are doing, and using the same pseudos that white folks do, and they're doing the same mistakes that white people did, which is defunct and discredited. And we're still in Native American shit. Then we're denying that we're not even Africans, what have you. And then they say that I'm brainwashed. I'm the one a coon. I'm the one that's whatever. And they're teaching our kids that shit. So how it helps, again, critical thinking, ascertain, and discern information properly, and what have you, and understand methodology, but don't get caught up in these bullshit that we've been going through for so long. I'm off the mic. Appreciate y'all listening.
Yeah. You still there, Brother Isaiah? Brother Isaiah, he's having technical difficulties. Are you there, Brother Isaiah? You hear us?
Isaiah, man, you hear me, man? Get your ass on the mic, man.
He said he can't hear us.
He can't?
No.
Well, he needs to leave, but
he's in the private chat. He can't hear us.
Oh, okay. Well, I see him. But what do you want to talk about, though, Brother Taalik? I mean, we like leave that in the classroom. I'm willing to listen or engage in anything you want to talk about. This is your room, and I appreciate you allowing us to vent and say what we had to say, man. But this is your boat. This is the chicken that's been cooked in your pot. So you cook it the way you want to, and I add a little season to it if I have to, if you ask so.
That sounds good to me. Okay. He's having tech difficulties there. But I just wanted to make a quick comment, you know.
Wow, bro.
When I was in the Nation of Islam, I was 18, 19 years old. There was, of course, there was more than just Minister Farrakhan out there. It was other Nation of Islam folks out there also. And I went to visit this brother called the Son of Man, Brother Marvin Muhammad. And if you go there, he's in Mississippi. Matter of fact, Red Lake, Mississippi. I believe that's the city, Red Lake, Mississippi. I was 18, 19 years old. We was buying eggs, I believe, from the Son of Man, Marvin Muhammad. And we went there. And the Son of Man had small grocery store, a barber shop, a car repair shop, places where his followers live. It seems as though Marvin Muhammad was actually expressing, even to this day, he is acting upon the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. And I was asked when I was 18, 19 years old by Marvin Muhammad, he wanted me to join his group. Now my brain told me at that time, that this was a good thing, because what I saw was the actual teachings in effect. And this was coming from a small group. I compared Marvin Muhammad to Minister Farrakhan. And Mr. Farrakhan had more followers, more money, more celebrity, more everything. And when I looked at what we was doing, there was no comparison. But there was a reason why I decided to stay with Mr. Farrakhan, because I was 18, 19 years old. And quite honestly, even though Marvin Muhammad actually was showing progress, making progress with the teachings, even though he was making progress with the teachings and actually doing those things, I decided to stay with Mr. Farrakhan because of the hype, because of the thousands of people, because of the television, because of the big show. Now here's Marvin Muhammad. Now mind you, I'm not endorsing Marvin Muhammad. All this religious stuff is crap to me. But when it comes to the teachings, even now, Marvin Muhammad, the Son of Man, actually is expressing the teaching of Elijah Muhammad, doing what the teaching is supposed to be done more than Mr. Farrakhan. But people are attracted to Farrakhan because of the hype, because of the celebrities, because of the show, the big show. There was a sister, I was on my post after a meeting. She came out of the meeting and she told me, that was a nice show y'all put on, young man. And I'm like, that I've never forgot what she said, because she said that was a nice show y'all put on. And that bothered me because I'm not here to be a show. I'm thinking I'm into something serious business. I want to change the condition of our people and myself. What she mean by show? I started to say, I'm not here for a show. So, but now, thinking back, I see why she saw this as a show. Because it's still a show now. And so now I understand why you have people like Brother Ben and Malcolm Flex TV, these young brothers and sisters. I know what the attraction to Farrakhan is. The big show. Because he cannot show you schools all over the country. He cannot show you that the Nation of Islam, instead of begging for a state, actually took over some states, or a city, or a town, or farms all over the country. International trade. He can't show you nothing. It's just a show. And what brought me to wanting to speak about this real quick is there was a post by Malcolm Flex 10. What's his name? Malcolm Flex TV. It's a picture of him, Rizza Islam, and I think Snoop Dogg or whoever, blah, blah, blah. See, that's what it's all about. You think that Snoop Dogg, you think that Mary J. Blige, Ariana Grande, you think because all these people listen to Farrakhan, shake his hand, all this celebrity, all these things, you think that brings validation to whatever that you're doing. So that means because Farrakhan has all these celebrities, Dougie Fresh, Snoop Dogg, and whoever, and because Marvin Muhammad don't have that, that makes him more valid than Marvin Muhammad.
God damn, man.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when you have Pepsi Cola and Coca-Cola and all these different companies, they hire celebrities so that you will buy their products. You say, it must be something good with that because Beyonce drink Pepsi Cola. Michael Jackson drink Pepsi Cola. So they're hoping that since you like Michael Jackson and you like Beyonce, you want to drink some Pepsi or some Coke. Does that make soda pop valid? Does it make it a good drink for you? No. It's a bunch of sugar, artificial colors and flavorings.
Hey, man.
Carbon, and it's got carbon dioxide in it. Something, a poison your body's trying to get rid of. But you're sold on that. So you think because Farrakhan has thousands of people come listen to him, he's more valid than me. He's more valid than Brother Gary or Brother Isaiah. They are more valid than we are because they got thousands of people. Or I got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. You think that any of these people on here really are more valid, more logical, more real than this platform because they have 100,000 subscribers, 40,000 subscribers, 50,000 subscribers, or whatever.
I'm going to give for some stupid reason, man.
And in fact, the reality is, if it was not for YouTube terminating my channel, I would have 50,000, 60,000 subscribers. Easy. Been on here ever since 2007. 100 channels terminated. These people have not gone nowhere near.
Like, got started.
And then they go all out of their way to flag my little videos, flag my little channel. These small forces, why do you think they continuously terminate and harass small channels and don't bother the big boys? That's because it's nothing but show. It's nothing but hype. That's all that it is. You're not going to get anything from it. They give you nothing. So how are you going to be like Farrakhan, all this hype, but don't have nothing of substance to show? If you go to Red Lick, Mississippi, it's not beautiful. It's not a palace or nothing like that. But if you go to Red Lick, Mississippi, and visit Marvin Muhammad, the Son of Man, down there in Red Lick, Mississippi, they have a school. Who like Johnson have $1 million some dollars. They don't have a school after 10 years or whatever. Marvin Muhammad, they just built a school. They have a bakery. They have all that stuff right there. Now, what could he do? What could his people do with the millions of dollars, all the people to help him? What could Marvin Muhammad do when he take a few dollars and produce that? And you tip it off a man talking to Mary J. Blige and all these celebrities, and you don't have a pot to pinch in still. That's right, Allison. Bunch of scammers. So I understand Brother Ben, and I understand Malcolm Flex, because they believe, but it's all about the hype, because that's what got me. That really was part of the reason why I stayed so long, because I enjoyed the hype, the thousands of people, the television, the radio, all of this hype, this show. But when the dust finally cleared out, you have nothing.
Rock a little bit.
So you will get more for your dollar being here, because you don't even have to give nobody $1 here. And you get the same thing that you get from Farrakhan here, which is nothing.
Oh man! And then after that, never had a problem. And then I was on home time because I had to go to a funeral, and they did that shit again.
All those people, all the millions of dollars, all these subscribers, these people aren't producing no more than my little channel. Nothing. But the one thing that you'll get here is that we're going to keep it real here. And if you ever want to get real, if you really take things and take this life serious, you're going to produce the real, because you're not going to settle for less. You're not going to settle for show. You're not going to settle, thousands of people. I got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. We on television and radio. We doing all these shows. I'm the greatest scholar. I'm the most requested scholar ever. And you were producing what? Absolutely nothing. So that's the rant I want to get off my chest. Just because you have celebrity, just because thousands of people listen to you, don't make you valid, don't make you credible, none of that. Because when it's all said and done, what are you producing? You might as well stay in church with white Jesus. You might as well stay with white Jesus and be done with it. At least at church, they'll feed you a little bit, put a few clothes on your back. You don't get nothing, absolutely nothing. You don't get anything. I just wanted to get that off my chest, and really, I'm really out of time. I got something that I needed to do, and maybe if these brothers want to, if they want to come back to this channel and have this debate, maybe we can set that up. You hear me, brother Gary? Brother Isaiah, you hear me? We still having technical difficulty. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Yeah. We having a technical difficulty with Brother Isaiah. So I don't know what the deal is here. But these brothers they wanted to talk about debate, I guess, real reality versus pseudoism, which this brother Isaiah does not view his thinking process as pseudoism or anything to that, or to that effect. But that's a long topic in and of itself. Like I said, if these brothers want to come back here and they want to debate, that'll be fine with me. Can you hear me, Brother Isaiah? You back, Brother Gary?
Oh, I've been listening to what happened, man. My truck is messing up. It won't go in the gear.
Oh, okay. It won't go in the gear.
I need your truck, man.
My truck is automatic.
Mine is too.
I hate them things, man.
Look where I'm at. Look.
Is that snow?
You see it?
What,
it's transmission failure.
Oh man.
Yep.
I hate the automatics, man. It don't want to change gears like it's supposed to. It goes into these. These trucks have too much electronic garbage on them.
Yeah.
They do. They have too much electronic. You have a what they call it, an APU unit.
APU. I got one, but I told them I don't want that AP. I told them disconnect it.
They're not gonna disconnect it. That's supposed to be saving them money, fuel.
Hey, I'm listening though. I'm listening. Isaiah can't talk?
No, he
can talk. He know he gonna get busted up.
Well, like I told him, we can, if you brothers want to, we can set up a debate time where maybe the connections is better. And we can actually have
okay, bet. All right, cool. Let me call outside repair. See, he always does that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
When he was debating Latinos and the Native Americans, when they were showing evidence,
yeah,
and all he did was, I'm over here. This is truck 11104. Hold on. Hey man, I've been having that problem. I was in here because I blew a tire, my drives, and it blew the wires out, and I got it to get it repaired, which they did. I'm in the bay, and now my truck will not go into neutral. It will not go into gear, rocking like I had that problem when I was in the shop in Tulsa a week ago, and it's doing the transmission fault. And what it's doing, I bleed all my tanks. I waited 45 minutes for it to reset the ECM, and it's still no prevail. It's either going in the new, it will not go into gear. And then the first time when I put it in gear with my foot applied to the brakes, once I release the brakes, the whole truck just rocks and cuts the engine off. And it's bad. I want to. Mm-hmm. Damn, man. Goddamn Domino ain't gonna be able to make my money, man.
Hey, show Domino. Show Domino, Gary. Show Domino. Hey, I like that video you had with Domino. He's looking crazy.
That's all. I mean, what happened? I know you guys be busy right now, but that's what happened. What it is that it's always transmission fault. It was rocking, boo boo boo, and they told me to bleed it. I did it twice, and it did not work. And then about 3 hours, I waited for the tow man to come, and then I had the truck off for at least 2 hours. I went to go microwave some Roman noodles and what have you. And then the inverter started to beep, indicating that the power was going low. So I started the truck, and I said, let me put it in the gear. I put it in the gear, it rocked, but the engine didn't cut off. And then I drove around the lot, and it kind of rocked a little bit. And then I told Melton said, go ahead, we're just going to do a deadhead on the a dead order on the what have you. And then it did that a few times. And then when I went on home time, as you see it in my schedule, it did the same thing, but it normalized for me to get to Tulsa. It went to Tulsa. They did a software update last Wednesday, and this thing was happening yesterday, but not this bad. But now, like I said, I've done it, and it's bad. I want to make this delivery because I got money to make. I got a truck payment, but it's bad. So more than likely, they're gonna send me to Kansas City. No, okay. Okay. All right, man. Tell the guy, the tow guy, I'm sorry to tell you I'm sorry about that. But I'm in bay number 2. Yes, sir. At the Petro. Yes, sir. Hey, appreciate it, man. Okay. Bye-bye. All right, man. What's going on, man? What's up, man? Isaiah? He's running and ducking and what have you, because that 2 cent talk gonna give him $1 million ass whipping. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to boast. I ain't trying to be bragging, but if you ain't got your stuff together, man, you know you'll never lose. Like they say, what's Unc saying? Disorganized lie will always defeat a disorganized truth. And I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm not trying to be boastful.
He said he can't hear nothing.
That you know that you studied and what have you and stuff, and I have no agenda. I'm not here to what have you. It's all about proper scholarship. We're not living that day of time where you can say, oh, it's the white man's and all that kind of. We're living in 29. I went through that phase. They use it when it works for them. And then when it overwhelmingly, most of the information they say is the white man, refute what they believe in, and then they say, I don't want to use that. So what they use is, like I always say, Isaiah, we use the Loch Ness, Bigfoot, Little Nimoy for Bigfoot methodology. We're in 2019. There's no more white man can sit there and say, oh, what? Let's suppress the information when we have every race and every field of expertise in every field of science and what have you. And they can't play that stuff no more. And if he understood scholarship first, when you write a paper, you better have your evidence, you better cite your source, and then once you think you have what happened, it's committed into for peer review for independent conglomerate of different people from all over the world that are in that specific field. They ain't sitting there and say, well, I'm gonna suppress the black man's history, or I'm gonna make the white man. They don't play that shit. They scrutinize. It's for errors and the veracity and the reliability based on the facts and evidence. And like I said, if it has explanatory scope, explanatory depth, and explanatory power, and then it gets published and hopefully it can generate new ideas or ideas that already exist. They can amend that or advance. Pseudos don't do that. They want to bypass that, get on YouTube, put these YouTube videos like Dan Galloway. He looks so good when you watch the video. Somebody can see right through it, because what they do is they're mavericks and they're renegades that work in isolation. They don't work collectively. People recognize that. What they do is they throw it down the mythos, and unbeknownst to a lot of young people, they want to like, oh, I want to feel. I'm not saying all, but low self-esteem, or they're feeling a void where they're inadequate in a certain thing. They're saying, "Damn, where's my history? What have you? Where's my culture?" Which I understand we all went through. I know Angel Taalik went through that stuff years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and I went through it in my late 80s and what have you. I was like, damn, where's my thing? So I got caught up in the Nation of Islam too. I wasn't in it. I read the Malcolm X, and then I read the Honorable Elijah Message to the Black Man. Then I read Dr. York's book, Imam Isa Asai, Al-Imam Isa, and it was blunt. I was blown away. I was caught up on battle. I'm like, damn, I found something. Boom, and I got, you know, and some of it, a lot of it has some truth, but it was something to counteract the void that I had inside of me, and there were some kernels of truth in it. It was good and what have you, but then I was doing it because I repeatedly did it for so long, and I did not understand these things. But now that was back in the early 90s. And but back on my mind, I was saying, damn, this is true in some way, but there's something wrong with it. But rather than trying to really look at it, I kept on stacking more stuff on it, more stuff on it, more stuff on it. And I became a super duper pseudo person. And then one day, like I said, I had the courage and had the testicular fortitude and honesty to say a lot of things that I learned was erroneous. It was for good intent and for good effort, but a lot of it was erroneous. And I made those videos. Angel Snubbed out. I was criticizing the conscious community a long time ago. I wasn't being a coon. I was scrutinizing. I seen the flaws in my personal experience. And then I shared it and I analyzed it, critiqued it. And each one I showed the pros and cons and the suggestions, where I was seeing that it's escape to whatever. And I knew in the future, a lot of these, that's the reason why a lot of these people are being mocked. You know, well, you see, it's like Sarnetter and the Ibn'rad squad and Team Osiris, the Dagger squad, Team Osiris, and a lot of brothers are educated now, because I said the greatest enemy to knowledge is not ignorance. It's the illusion that you have knowledge, and that's the problem. And I experienced that. I admit that I was wrong, and that's about being progressive in knowledge. It's to not only know when you're right and also know when you're wrong. The same thing with what have you. Until another paradigm comes, it has a shift where something overwhelming evidence comes and breaks it. Yeah, that's how it works, and it revolutionized that kind of stuff. You know, so pseudos or what have you, they use the language, they use the psycho rabble, they use the language, and it appears and it masquerades and it looks like scholarship, and it gives it the veneer to give it credence. But when it gets tested, it gets blown away, and the only thing they can resort to is sentiments and emotions and what have you. When we demand, we say, where is the evidence? We don't want to hear conjectures. We don't want to hear anecdotal evidence. We don't want to hear about no Dutch explorer back in 1798, where one minute he says they were black, and then he clearly says they wasn't. And black does not denote Africans. And that's phenotype. That's morphological, physical characters, understand it. And you said earlier, Isaiah, you said white people come from Dravidians. You didn't say Neanderthals and what have you and stuff. That's like I said, albino is a genetic mutation of OC1 and OC2. Yes, blue eyes is a variation of OCA2, which O means ocular, and it's blue eyes is what it really has no color, but it's the reflection of the color of refraction. It comes out as blue. There's also a genetic mutation of HERC, HERC. There's also a genetic thing of MFSRC12, and that was way. Those things came way 100,000 years ago in Africa. And it was a what have you. So back to pseudoism. That's why I said it's monopoly money. It's good, feel good, like Brother Taalik said. It's feel good stuff. But when it goes scrutiny, what have you, and in the real world, it has no validity. Just like I said, it holds no water, and they always end where they begin. And that's what pseudoism is. And I learned how to study that. But you know, a lot of pro-blacks gonna say, oh, you're using the white man. And like I said, that's why they at home eating chicken noodle soup. And they ain't got, you can count how many goddamn jars of peanuts they got under their shelves and what have you and stuff. And they get on social media and try to be Dr. Khalid Mohammed, what have you and stuff. I've been through all that kind of stuff. I've seen it and what have you. You seen it. Angel Snuff is one of big ridicule about it. He said, man, motherfucker got an EBD card. He said, yeah, I know how I know, because I had it. See, Angel Snuff, it's good to, one thing about it is to be honest about the damn thing, not be shameful. I used to be shameful. Well, I wasn't shameful, but anytime that you admit when you're wrong, you're going to deal with humiliation, self-humiliation, embarrassment, disgrace, and all that. But you persevere through it, and you get through it, and you say, you know what? It felt so good to admit when I was wrong. But pseudos, all they do is stack more bull crap, and they can't get themselves out of it.
Yeah.
You know, dig themselves, and they're preoccupied, and everything, their preposition is based on race. I got to make this person. I got to make Captain Crunch. I got to make William Shakespeare. I got to make one was based on a black woman. Yes, and all those other things were based on black. I love black history. There's a lot of things out here, but we don't have. There's so much truth out there for us to lie and fabricate and just try to take Native Americans people. There's no genetic. There's no evidence. There's no viable, credible evidence. The DNA all points. And when we say Mongolian, proto, not paleo, proto, and Euro-Asians and Australoids, and believe it or not, people from New Guinea they do look like they're African. They do phenotype, but genetic. Understand it. Believe it or not, they are not Africans. We're all Homo sapiens sapiens, but we do live in a society where they look at brother too. Look at black person. So those things that are associated. You ready for me to get off the mic? Ready to get off the mic, Isaiah?
I'm sending him. I'm
ready to get off the mic. Man, this dude got a $10,000 damn whatever this Fruity Pebble internet with cyber tadpoles and what have you shit. This dude got a lot of money. Got more money than Van Camp got pork and beans. He can't even get on the internet. Kind of shit, man. I'm in the damn. I can't even defend what the hell you say. You know I'm a high side too. There's Angel stuff. You know how I am. I like to have fun and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna mute my mic and allow y'all to say what you gotta say. What you gotta say though, since he's making this shit work, he just don't want to say it. He just shit. Go ahead, brother.
Brother Quinn said, keep talking, brother Garrett.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, you know, like we disagree. And I gonna go off my head like he did. Steady. He gonna get on my head like something. Me and you disagree. You know, we disagree. You're not trying. You are a critic. That's what you are. I mean, you want to and then your campaign, your Mississippi Exodus campaign, what have you stuff, and you're very adamant about that. And you're very passionate about that. But you're more like a sociologist that deals with the group, the psychology of a group. I'm going after him because he's the one that's claiming to be a scholar. He's the one that wrote a book, and I read his book. I see his intent and what he's trying to do. But it was so cluttered, it looked like a giant blob. And like I said, the very first page, he said Homo sapiens sapiens lived 1 million years old. 1 million Homo sapiens sapiens. And all I asked him, where is your evidence? And for 3 years, he never addressed it until a month ago. He provided a site from some, it looked like an Alex Jones site. It's not even a scientific. It's not even like a historical site that you can go to. He gave me some alien site or something like that, and showed me some candles from 500 million years ago. I said, bro, you got to do better than that. So that's the reason why I ridicule him. But I ridicule him because he knows that's how we talk. We talk shit. Anybody that watches looks like we're really going at each other's throat. That's just the way we talk.
Yeah.
I am, and I rebuke pseudo. Because I used to be a pseudo, and I see it proliferating, and that's not helping. It's making people escape, and like I said, seek refuge to a belief where I'm a super god, and I can guide that. But then they can't guide and break a goddamn Kit Kat bar, rip a hot flame potato chip bag, like you said, and feel good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's people that's educated, there's scholars and what have you stuff, and that's good in that area. And I do believe that there's Black folks that want youngsters that want to get into the realm of scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then they can, you know, use their scholarship and what have you and stuff to in other things. It's like the biological theory of evolution and what have you and stuff. People say, oh God, what is that? Biological theory is even in computer science and computer engineering and agriculture and medicine and what have you and stuff. So that's just my take. I just rebuke what have you. My field is psychology. I mean, I got a degree in that, but I love science. I love history. I like sociology, which I have a degree in that. I like politics. I just like having talk and I like having fun. Yeah. I love human beings. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I like living. I damn sure like to goddamn refute and rebuke people like Isaiah. That goddamn Nazi shoots and ladder scholarship. Goddamn monopoly money on scholarship. And he hear me. He trying to act like he don't hear me there.
I just met him today.
What?
I just met Isaiah today and listened to, I never read his book. I just met him today. And the only thing I know is what I heard from him today. The few minutes before his audio, his technical difficulties. And I want to say,
well, stop it, man. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it, man. That brother T, man. Brother, man.
But see, this is psychology too. Because we come from where we come from.
Yeah.
We want to feel smart. We want to feel intelligent. We want to feel scholar because from where we come. Because for 400 years living in this country, we've been nothing. So let me get a little something. Let me get a little something.
Go off. Go ahead, Taalik.
Yeah. Let me get a little something. Maybe I can impress another slave. Because that's all you're doing. You're not going to impress nobody really in that discipline. The only thing you're going to impress is another slave that don't know no better just like you do. That's all you're going to impress. You're also not going to impress those, just like you said, those who are thinking, those who are logical, those who embrace reasoning, those who just use plain common sense. Because from the little that he said, I have so many questions for this man. Black, you talking all that black first. I just raised the question on a video. What is black? Is it a people or is it a race? It cannot be two. It cannot be both of them. Either you're a people or you're a race. There's no bird called bird. So the species is called bird, and then you have different kinds of birds. So it would be the same thing with black folks. If black is the race, then there's different kinds of black people. You said they are all over the world. But so what does that make us in America called black? Because you can't be the black people and the black race because black is a race. So what people are we? See, the whole thing is confusing because he's talking about the white man's knowledge. At the foundation of what he's talking about, the racial construct is white. They're the ones who created the racial construct of Caucasian and black and white and African and all this stuff. So you have to relate to them. In fact, they're the only ones that can really bring those answers because they are the ones that created it. You didn't create it. That's why you're gonna have a tough time trying to explain their confusion. Now, if he want to try that, be my guest. But for me, I really don't care. It don't impress me none. And then if you black first, and the original man, black folks do everything first, then common sense tell you that the black man was the first rapist, he was the first pedophile, the first homosexual, the first thief, the first liar, the first woman beater. He was also first that too. But you just ignore those things. You just ignore that. And just talk about, oh, we built the pyramids and we created and all these different things. No, and you The black man was the first one that farted. Okay, all right, okay. Now you want to ignore all these other firsts to go to all these things that make you feel. See, it's all about feeling good about yourself because you're suffering from low self-esteem because you've been beat down and whooped and made to look like an inferior for hundreds of years. So you talk about all these other people did these things first. You wasn't around. There was nobody. These people was not calling themselves black or African 500 million years ago. You got that from the Caucasian people. This black did not come into creation until the late 1700s when the Peckerwood created this racial garbage. Only the Europeans. Nobody else was involved. No so-called black folks, no Asians. Nobody else on this planet developed and created these categories of race except them. And here you are basing your information and your knowledge on what these people created, what they've done. Something that did not exist 500 million years ago. Matter of fact, if you go and look at people's history, all these animals, the white man or these Peckerwoods, actually, they renamed everything. Because if you go to other people's cultures, a bear is not a bear in another person's culture. A crocodile is not a. They call these animals had different names. But when they come into control, when they come into domination, then they became like the Adam, the new Adam, and now they started renaming everything on the planet, including your happy ass.
I can hear y'all now. I'm back.
Hey, real quick, where on YouTube is this on, brother? Because hey, appreciate it, Twin Pyramid. Twin Pyramid says Speak Cutter, and is he on YouTube?
Who is that?
Twin Pyramid.
Yeah, he's on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, where's the link? Where on your? I'm looking on YouTube and I can't find. I looked at Angel Snup and the Exodus.
It's on Reality's Temple on Earth.
Okay, that's where I went to.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get there.
Okay, bro. You back there, brother Isaiah?
Yeah. I got my phone on now, so I had to go and find out what was. Damn, it's not working on the computer for some reason. I'm good on my phone. I got my phone on now, so I had to go and find out what was. Damn, it's not working on the computer for some reason. I'm good on my phone.
Are you?
Can I find reality temple on Earth?
What's a little? Hold on. Let me see. I'm getting ready to put the link into the chat room.
Okay,
brother.
Oh.
Okay, hold on a minute.
Huh.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in the chat room. There you go. Well, brother Isaiah, like I explained to brother Gary, and I'll let you have the last few words, but I would just want to let you know that if you brothers want to have a debate or whatever,
yeah,
you can come here. We can set my channel, and you guys can go at it. If you want me to be like the moderator, give you 5 minutes, and you know that type of organized type of thing, and we can do that. If you want to do that.
Hey man, but I'm gonna say it like this, man. Let me say this. Let me say this, man. Isaiah, brother. Please do not deviate off the crux of the central thing that we're talking about. You was on my show, and like I said, we could talk about jet engines, and you'll start talking, and you'll talk about it, and then you'll drift off, and then you'll start talking about torpedoes. Then you'll start talking about torpedoes, then you start talking about pigeons. You speak about things that are irrelevant. What you're doing, you're ranting, what have, like when I asked you earlier, specifically, be definitive, is to talk about the evidence. Where is your evidence? Then you went on this little tirade again. Like I said, you keep talking about the white man. I was telling you, talk specifically about it. You get long-winded, brother. Again, why do you not show the evidence? If you're so much of the truth and the ultimate truth, and like I said, if you make extraordinary claims, require extraordinary evidence, and you don't supply it, you just go with it. This is called, a lot of people in the fringe, what have you, or alternative history or revisionist history, always feel like it's an act of what you call contravention. That's what y'all do. Y'all go contravention, y'all play prima facie, and then y'all say, you know, some conspiratorial thing, like we're the one brainwashed. But all we're asking is, if you understood what scholarship is in like football or any other sports and what have you and stuff, or you watch any formal debate and watch how they conduct it, especially a scientific debate, or even like how biological theory of evolution is P.G. Myers, Ken Miller, debate against Ken Novin. When they do, they debate, they present their facts, their ideas and all that. You don't do that. You get all this tirade, like I said, you keep talking about some crap that we've been listening to back in the 1980s. You know what I'm saying? So please, when you talk, please speak specifically of what we're talking about. Me and Angel Taalik, and I'm sure a lot of the people of the general public already, you don't have to lecture, preach to the choir. Address the question that is posed to you. All right?
I always do that. I always do that.
There you go.
But
there
you don't look, listen, you don't believe what I'm telling you. You rather believe Olmec and Odie and Sandoval and other idiots that's on Facebook. Hold on. Let me get it out. That they are right. Anything and everything I put on the table is wrong. That's not true. That's not true. The other thing is that you need to accept the scholarship of not only your own people, but even those people who came before. You know fully well Blumenbach and Meisner were some guys who came up with a theory of white that started in the 1780s. Bullshit artists accumulated into what I would call the ideology of white supremacy. The ideology of white supremacy is nothing but an ideology of liberation or liberation ideology from Black oppression. And when you think about it, like I said, and I said it time and time again, in my book, that all of this so-called whiteness and all of this so-called white supremacy and all of this so-called white superiority is really a white inferiority complex. White folks have it bad. It is deeply rooted in something that's so diabolical and so evil that they see it, but they cannot get away from it. They are trapped in a corner, surrounded by lies and deceit that is literally killing them. The way in which they go about their lives is based on deceit and lies. They're white, they're not Caucasian, they're not European, they're not Aryan, and they're not Anglo-Saxon. All of those terms to Black people. The very essence of the United States and the very foundation upon which it is built is built on a Black ideology that was founded by the Black king, King James, King Charles, and King George. I provided all of that evidence as to how and why they are Black. That is not a secret. That is not something that is kept in some safety box or secure box. It's all about them overcoming what we did to them and what they are doing to us. And I don't know if you heard me before, but when you look at the 1876 Civil Rights Act, it is a very serious watered down version of the 1876 one. There was no need for nobody to get stoned, to get robbed, to get killed, to get stabbed, to get shot. There was no need for a Brown versus the Board of Education. There was no need for Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Medgar Evers to die. All of these things took place for nothing. The Civil Rights Act that was done and held up, even under the veto of the president at that particular time, white people and black people said enough. Under the Republican Party, enough is enough. We're going to make it an even level playing field for everybody, and that anyone that has a problem has the right to sue under whatever means and or ability in the court of law. What happened was that after the 1876 Civil Rights Act, white folks knew that their hands were tied. They came up with this bullshit law known as, what is it? It's not common law. It's going to come to me as I sit here. But the idea is that every law that they came up with was a de jure law in favor of them, contravened to what was going on in America in respect to black people. Now you can have a de facto where, white people say, well, I don't want, niggas living next to me. That's their problem. But when it becomes a de jure situation backed by the state, federal, and local governments, in which white men who didn't have a job, who formed unions to lock out black people and to chip away at our economic and political structures, in which we were advancing far ahead of them. And you know about Black Wall Street and all of this. This shit didn't just happen just because. It happened because of an inferiority complex of white men. They got control of the federal government and the federal bench and the U.S. Supreme Court. And the U.S. Supreme Court became racist after the 1880s. That just didn't happen just because. You feel what I'm saying? So when you look at the general history of white people, you find that it is in response to what we did to them. We put them on this on the auction block and checking their teeth and checking their musculature and all this other stuff. The Tripolitan War was fought because white people got sick and tired of niggas fucking with them. And I can understand that. As Taalik was saying, black people are not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Holy beings on the fucking planet. We got our trials and tribulations and sinful ways. We were the first to fart, the first to write, do everything. Yeah. But then again, on the flip side of that, you gotta look at it from the real deal Holyfield. If it wasn't for black folks, the world cannot be. Carbon is black. The very essence of your biological and chemical reaction take place in darkness. Melanin is no fucking joke. It is real. Carbon is no joke. It is real. And when you begin to assimilate in that way of thinking, that allows you to relate to and go back in the past, because everything that is in the past is happening now. Everything that is happening now will happen in the future. There was nothing new under the sun. And that is, hold on for a second, I'm checking my phone. And that our ancestors right now, as I speak, are speaking to you through me based on what I know to be real. When I talk from a position of power, strength, and authority. I know my fucking history. I know that it was black men and black women that established the 13 colonies. King James, King George, and King Charles were black men. America only consisted of 13 states. Everything west of the Appalachian Mountains were taken by greed after the colonists got Spain and France off their back and then they can only deal with England. England was like thousands of miles away. They say, well, hell, the only people that we got to deal with is they're thousands of miles away. They don't really have a grip on colonies, even though we burnt down Washington and the White House. These were black people, man. These weren't white people. And the first, second, and third Continental Congress, it was filled with black men. LaSalle, Pulaski were black men.
Well, not to cut you off, Brother Isaiah.
Go ahead.
I'm running out of time here. If you want to get this debate going between you and Brother Gary, I'll be happy to, we can set that up if you are interested.
Yeah, much love to my brother Isaiah, man.
Oh yeah, we got Brother Craig here.
I'm really feeling his what he was saying, man. I hate you had to cut him off, man. That brother Isaiah is very powerful. Very powerful.
Yeah, if you got me as a friend on your friends list, CJ Block, is that you?
Yes, sir. I don't know, man,
look for me on. If you're a friend of Gary or you're a friend of Nothing Up,
it ain't just nothing.
I don't know if
man.
I got you.
Yeah.
I hate you had to cut the brother Isaiah off. He's very powerful. Yeah,
man. We didn't have to. He had technical difficulties earlier.
Yes, sir.
I had that. That's why I switched to my phone.
Yeah,
but man, I'm just gonna make this real quick. I'm gonna make a prediction that is coming true every day as we speak. Right now, there are 5,000 in America by 2020, or in the elections of 2020, are going to be running for the House and the Senate. Trust me on this, that as white folks took over and had an immigration policy in which only white folk came in, and they were coming in by the tens of millions, at least 50 million, I'm telling you right now, as we speak, we're going to take over the political arm of America and twist that bitch in our favor. We're going to have control of the House and the control of the Senate. When we get that, our economic power is going to come in to play. And with tens of millions, 40, 50, 100 million niggas going to come into America and change the landscape of America. Are you feeling what I'm telling you? So with that being said, the political and the economic angles in which we are dealing with right now is going to change in our favor. You're going to see a great impact in terms of immigration policy changing, and brown and black people are going to be streaming into America. That's my prediction. As Gaddafi said, we don't need to bomb nobody or shoot anybody. All we got to do is just open up the floodgates in which our Muslim brothers are going to be coming into America. And there's a great video about that I put on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
In regard to that. Hell, even the Prime Minister of Canada has now joined Islam. Do you understand what I'm telling you? This is how and why we got into Spain and ruled it for 1,000 years. The black Jews that were there were already there controlling the money centers. And then they opened up the gate and made friends with an alliance with the Muslims that came in later. We are no joke, man. We're no Johnny-come-latelys, man. We are some serious people, and white folks know that, and they're scared of them and a motherfucker because they know they shit is up. They're not producing. To maintain a particular population, you need 2.1. Theirs around 0.09 and 1.1. They ain't gonna make it. They know they ain't gonna make it. Our population of fertilization or how you say it, is growing by 9.2. Mexicans 1,110 to 1. I'm joking, but you know how they're going. But the idea is that white folks are scared. They're getting McConnell out of there. They're getting Lindsey Graham out of there. There's a brother that's running against Lindsey Graham that's going to win. White men have no gumption, have no heart, have no nothing. They cannot compete with us. That's the very reason why they use the government in order to crush us economically. But we are still here. We are still here, and we are going to be taken over. We are taken, or not going to be. We are. They can kill the person, but they're not kill the ideology behind our power, move behind our power structure. And once we understand that isn't more of an ideology than an individual, we're not going to be looking for one person to save us. It's everybody within the game. The name of the game is Wall Street, man. That's where the fucking power is at. The corporate structure, Boeing and Grumman and all these other companies, in which $1.5 trillion going into their pockets. It's not going into the shareholders' pocket. This is what I'm talking about. It ain't got nothing to do with one person saving everybody. It's everybody saving one person. All for one and one for all. That's how it must be. United we stand, divided we fall. United we stand and take over politically, economically, socially, and spiritually. There are 4 levels that must be taken. The first one is economic. The second one is political. Because once you can change the political law that favor you, and this is how it is in America. We already know the game. Once we get control of the political arm of America, it's over. It's done. And that's exactly what these Muslims are coming into this, coming into America are doing, are running into the 2020 elections are doing. That's how Ilhan Omar came into power. So power begets nothing without demand. And when you have demand, economic demand, and economic power, that's it. And to wrap it up, Ida B. Wells said it best. Let the black man and woman continue to education, but more importantly, put money in your pocket. When you have money and plenty of it, parties and races will come to you. They don't come to no broke money, begging. That's not how I get down. You know what I mean? Yes, I've been poor. I've been rich. I know rich is a hell of a lot better. You know what I mean? If you have $50 you invested in from 92 to 96, it returned $50,000.
Yes, sir.
If you invested in Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. Look at Amazon stock. It was at $5 went like years ago, like maybe 15 years ago or something like that.
Yes, sir.
And now it's a $1,500 stock. So imagine if you bought one share at $5, you got back right now it's like $1,800. For every $5 you put in, you got back $1,795.
Yes, sir.
So this is what I'm talking about. Instead of being hypnotized with bullshit and concentrated on bullshit, be about the fucking money and be about political hegemony. And that is what America is all about. Making laws that are favorable not only for you as an individual, but also as a people. There ain't shit wrong with that. That's a Machiavellian move. White folks ain't got shit on us. They know they can't beat us. They can only beat us when we beat ourselves. That's the very reason why they won against the Yamasee, because the Cherokee helped them. They ain't never beat us, ever. They know who their daddy is and who their mama is. They know.
On that note, Brother Isaiah, not to cut you off, but you know, been on here.
Yeah, but we'll get at it again. Yeah, but but Taalik, if I'm not a friend of yours on Facebook, hit me up and send me that. And CJ, you know the deal, man. Look for me. Is that how you say your name, CJ?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Brother Taalik, man, has my contact information.
Yeah,
Facebook and all social media.
I'm 90 years old.
You should. I should be a Facebook friend, Brother Isaiah. I should be. I'll check and see.
Yeah,
and then I'll send CJ the link when we.
I'm late to the party, man.
Yeah.
I see Cool Cookie Cutter just cut his camera on. So, does the brother have anything to say to add?
No. Hey, I got real quick. I know. What's up, brother CJ? Hey, man. That last time I had that discussion, man, I didn't mean to dictate that time. I think it was about 2 months ago. I was in Georgia, and you was in, man. I kind of got a little long-winded. I apologize for that, bro. Remember that last time I was over there?
I would
You
get along.
CJ.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Hey, my apologies. I kind of
don't worry about it.
rolled the thing and what have you. I'm just, out of courtesy and out of respect, man, I apologize for that. And I didn't get a chance to have you engage and what have you. So I'm just letting you know out of courtesy and respect, man.
Man, I saw you all over the place, man. I see
you
you calling into Garfield, Dagger Squad, sign of the TV, man. I see you all over the place, bro. Yes.
Oh yeah. Hey, but what brother Isaiah did, what he said was real good and what have you. I mean, it kind of related. I know we wasn't talking. We was talking about scholarship, but yet I can't. What he described as far, I mean, that's not what we was really our main primary discussion. But since he talked about his description about our political campaign and how we can mobilize and what have you, was on point. Now that's on point, Isaiah, what you said and what, because this is kind of related to what Brother Taalik is. What have our power is actually from the state and local level. Once we get it, first starts with ourselves and at home, and then as we get voters and we garner of array of political leaders that can help facilitate our our desires and our needs, our imperative needs. It like Brother Isaiah was saying, is on a local and a state, which is tied into somewhat related to what Brother Angel Snutnup is so adamant and devoted to with his Mississippi campaign. Isaiah, I don't know if you're familiar with that. If you get a chance, man. Brother Taalik has a litany, a whole a gang of videos talking about that discussion, and if you get a chance, review his videos and what have you, because I know you're very strong on political. I know you're definitely good. One thing you are good, I knew I scrutinized you on scholarship, but I always told you that you're very good on finance and you're good on the political and social description about, especially with white supremacy, racism, and finance, like I just mentioned, and what have you and stuff. So I know Brother Taalik got things he got to do. Of course, we'll arrange something and have a good old discussion. Hopefully, Brother CJ can come in and
yes, indeed,
he can interject, and I'd like to hear his views.
I just
What's
wonder,
up, bro?
man, what the elders have to say about this, and I have to put this out here before we close out.
Okay.
Our people, if we look, we could go back into the late 1800s to the 1500s, man. I mean, our people are victims, of course, we already know, of racism and white supremacy, but a lot of our ancestors were also victims of rape, of slave rape. They were forced onto the cotton fields, forced into what's that system called? The sharecropping system. And I mean, I can look at my own descendancy and show ties. So all of us who are victims of racism and white supremacy, who are the descendants of slaves born in America, like, I'm just wondering, man, at this point, of course, I'm a supporter of ADOS as far as, like, the descendants of slaves, getting reparations. But we'd already know, like my brother Taalik always says, is that when a robber, comes and sticks you up with a ski mask on, there's no way the robber is not gonna pay the victim of, the robbed, or the rapist is not going to pay the raped. So when we look at America, us being the descendants of slaves born in America, underneath, this wicked system of racism and white supremacy, a system that has capitalized off of black subjugation. Goldman and Sachs. Look at Wall Street. Look at what they did to Black Wall Street when black people tried to take it upon themselves and chose that they could govern an entire community. Look at what they did to Martin Luther King Jr. Shot the man cold blood in the street. Look at what they are doing today. From what I heard, there was a brother who was just shot 2-3 days ago by the white police system. All the lynchings, all the brutalization, all the rape. of our ancestors? Why do you think that our sisters, you know, they want to so badly, you know, fit in, you know, with this no good, dirty white man? And that is because, man, look at what, you know, we as men have left our, you know, our queens. So, I mean, I'm saying all of this, you know, just to say that, you know, racism and white supremacy. So, good brother Taalik, man, I'm glad that you are back, my good brother. But I hate that I tuned in, man, so late. I wish I would have been here from the beginning.
Hey, you'll check it out though. Hey, CJ, you can check out, of course, when Taalik said, "God damn, I wish they shut the hell up so I can get the hell on out of here." But yeah, you'll see at the genesis of the conversation. Isaiah is a good friend of mine. I know you kind of seen how I am. I mean, that's just the way I am in person. Brother Taalik see me in person. That's how I am. I am abrasive. Seems like I'm obnoxious. Hopefully you can find me on Facebook. I'm on Brother Taalik. I've been my brother for 11 years, and Isaiah, me and Isaiah clown on each other. I mean, you might hear us. I'm not trying to be a tentative or anything like that, but him, we talk shit to each other all day. We have fun. So we do go at each. It seems like we do go at each other's throat, but it's not personal. Yes, I got nothing but love for Brother Isaiah. But when you hear us debate, and we debate, it looks like
I would like to
milk.
Put this question out here for all the brothers, because I know we about to cut off. Okay, you heard of what was that? That little white female cop, Amber Geiger, the one who shot the black man. Okay, is anybody familiar with that? And you saw the brother. Okay, first of all, the brother requested a hug. Bailiff and all that type of stuff, man, came down, and I mean, this white cop who shot a black man in cold blood. I'm talking about in 2019. We're not talking about 1965. We're not talking about 1932. We're not talking about 1865. We're talking about 2019. You feel me? So much respect and much love to the elders who went through all type of turmoil that I can't even imagine. But what I'm saying is, today, in 2019, we already know being black is not only a sin, it's also a crime. Having black skin is not just a sin. Underneath the white guy. Go ahead.
Can I just throw some light on that a little bit?
Yes,
because one of the things you got to really understand that in America, black people were not slaves in America. We were prisoners of war, and that's what politics wars were all about. Up until the time of Jefferson, we didn't have a navy. You know what I mean? So America was paying at least 50% of their GDP to black pirates from stopping the black people taking so-called white people known as Christians into slavery. If we didn't have a African America slave route, it was from America to Africa, you know what I mean? Or any other place that you might want to think of. And the other thing is that you got to realize that the blood type in America is old.
They don't. Yeah, who did the lights? Good job. Good job. I didn't know you had a beard, but you did a good job, man. Because it blew out. And I said, God damn, how the hell are you gonna fix that shit? What was it?
So okay. Yeah. So the thing is, bro, we gotta realize that history determines how you walk, how you talk, what you see, and what you feel. If you're coming from an angle of a white guy or white people or a white scholar trying to say, you know, the only thing niggas ever done were pick cotton, that's not true. We brought white people to the America to work the sugar and the tobacco plantation. Now, what do you want to call those white people? Serfs, or a feudal system, or indentured servants? You can call an orange an apple, it's still an orange. They were slaves, and that's where the word slave come from. Slavic, Indo-European people. You know what I mean? But the idea is that you gotta know history, man. You can't go out here humming and skipping down the block talking about we're all the same. White folk in general know They know who black people are in America and around the world. They hoping you don't know. You feel what I'm saying? They hoping you don't wake up. They're hoping you don't take heed to our ancestors and those who have written books detailing the facts of the situation as to what happened, how it happened, why it happened, and how we got to this present day, and what happened, how white folks cheated their way to the top. They didn't get there by pulling their own fucking bootstrap up. They had all kinds of help, you know what I mean, from the government. The government is supposed to do that shit. I ain't like, help white folks and then fuck all niggas. That's not how it's supposed to be. But white folk got scared of niggas because we were too far ahead of them. Union to block niggas out and to keep them from in positions of power in which, the Republican Party was about that. It really was about fair competition. And when the Democratic Party started, that was a party for white folks who got tired of niggas telling them what to do politically and economically. They were scared. And so when you look at a party who symbols a jackass, I can't even fathom as to why white black folks want to be a part of a party whose symbol is a jackass. You know what I mean? So the bottom line of it all is economic parity, which is fine. But at the end of the day, united we stand, divided we fall. United we stand and take over on every realm, at every level, politically, economically, socially, and spiritually. You feel what I'm saying? We cannot,
Yes,
we cannot give up. We cannot give in. We cannot turn around and say, let's go back. You can only go one way. That's forward.
Brother Taalik,
And we go to our ancestors.
I have a question for you, bro. And you know, me and you go way back, man. I've been a follower, bro. You was the first, over 10 years ago, the first pro-black YouTuber that, you are a descendant of the Nation of Islam, okay, bro?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is you have the teaching
back to the days
of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. But what I'm saying, rewinding the time, how come today in 2019, when we look at black social media, it's no longer about grassroots organizing. It's not about the Martin Luther King Jr. days, of the Montgomery bus boycotts, man. Today it's all about Patreon accounts, GoFundMe accounts, being the, most well-versed black conscious reverend and all of these things, man. The person that speaks the wellest. Man, how did we go from the 60s of Black Power, the original Black Panther Party, the Harriet Tubmans, the brother Martin Luther King Jr.'s, the Malcolm X Shabazz. I'm talking about the freedom fighters, the Nat Turners, people who gave their lives for our people. And the foundation that we stand on today, the freedom and the luxuries that we have to be able to walk around freely, walk up to the corner store, not being a slave. How did we go from the originators, the OGs, the elders? I'm talking about those who laid the foundation that we stand on today, all of us. Those who, fought to end slavery, fought to give black people the right to vote, fought so black people didn't have to, sit on the back of any no good crackers bus, fought so black people, regardless, nobody wants to sit on the same dirty, disgusting toilet stool as an old pink man. But we have the freedoms, the luxuries to be able to do what we want to do, go in any store that we want to go in. How did we get from grassroots organizing to today's present time, to where it's all about?
Let me say this. One word and three letters. One word and three letters. Integration and CIA. That's why we fucked up right now. We all trying to get along to go along. You can't do that. I don't, you know, I'm a fair person. I'm a fair person.
Isaiah, let me say this. Let me say this, brother. What like what you meant in our diaspora? I mean, as victims, like you said, that we were kidnapped or an act of war. When we were brought here, of course, we were systematically. I mean, it goes back to what we studied, and you know, when we first our how can I say it? Our head start, our kindergarten, our not preliminary, but elementary of going through of understanding the historicity of the Black experience here in the United States or in abroad, like in your Dominican and South American, what have you stuff. As we were slaves, we were you know, systematically oppressed and what have you. I mean, mentally, psychologically.
You got to move that from your
let me add on. And then what happened is, of course, when after the so-called well, I'm not going to say so-called because it was the Emancipation Proclamation and what have you. Of course, through Reconstruction, our ancestors were disenfranchised. I mean, just tore. What have you. So we were broken spiritually, mentally, and physically. And we still had a lot of setbacks because of Jim Crow, Black laws, segregations, and different programs that kept us down. Like the brother mentioned about the Tulsa Wall Street. When you look and when you compare from 1910 up until 1950s, the mid 50s, if you look at the ratio of Black physicians, Black teachers, Black doctors, and all these other fields of professionalism, and compare them to where they are now, the margin was way higher because Black Wall Street was the ability where they how can I say, they consolidated. They had their own, what have you, they had their own teachers, they had their own, what have you, you know, families and everything, what have you. It was tightly knit as a Black community. But just like you mentioned about the democratic, about liberalism, neoliberalism, because Martin Luther King said this. He says that he was scared that he has integrated his people into a burning house. And people are not realizing that the house is on fire. It was actually neoliberalism back in the late 60s and the early 70s with the programs. And what it did, it only enabled us with welfare. I'm sure all y'all brothers and sisters are aware of that. And what it did, all it did was exacerbate, it compound where we became dependent. Goddamn smart message. And when we integrated, we lost we start to lose our power in controlling our schools, our family. Look at the culture back then. The family unit was a unit back then prior to integration, correct?
I'm a youth. Mm-hmm. I'm a youth on the panel. The elders will have to break it down to me, man. I'm definitely the youth of the panel.
Oh, I'm not an elder. Yeah, how old are you, brother?
Man, I mean, I know my brother Taalik is in his 50s. I'm in my late 30s.
Okay.
Well, you're not far behind. I'm 46.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. I'm calling me sir.
Yes, indeed.
Man, he was raised. You could tell he was raised right, though. You just showing that. I mean, you could tell when you hear somebody talk like that. You could tell he was raised around before.
I was raised with a lot of respect, man. I was taught a lot of my history too, as a child. I've always been like, you know, the type of child that I was never like the type of person that wanted to abuse others. But okay, I'm glad my brother Taalik is back on the panel. I want to ask him this question before he closes out. I hate I'm so late to the party. You know, I hate I'm so late to the party. This final question, man, and I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna cut my microphone off after this. What is, brother Taalik? This goes directly to you, brother. With all of the state police, county police, city police, I mean, governmental agencies, federales, all of these white guys with guns and tanks and missiles and bombs and nukes. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, at the end of the day, bro, I mean, I hate to be in this situation to where I even have to ask these type of questions. But I'm just saying, man, what is stopping these bastards? Man, brother Taalik gonna run off on me, man. Well, maybe my brother Isaiah can answer this. With all of these white guys, with all of this political power, governmental power, what is stopping these guys from just saying, F black people, man, just put us all in hell? Like, I mean, ever since, because see, all right, I have to begin with this. Back during the times, okay, my brother Taalik is back. Yes, sir. Back during the times of George Washington, the first president of the United States, the only reason that I breathe air is because I had black people. Brother Taalik knows I don't have my camera cut on, but brother Taalik knows I am a black man. You know, to everybody new on the panel. But what I'm saying, back during the days of George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, I have a direct lineage of black people who were subjugated underneath these systems of white American supremacy, pink supremacy, what we call it. So what I'm saying is, knowing that, you know, back in those days, we had men like George Washington, the first president of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. What was he, the 15th or the 16th president? I mean, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Knowing that I have a direct lineage and descendancy, and the only reason that I breathe air is because of black people who lived back in those days. I mean, with knowing that within itself, man, that's why why do you think, man, some of our people think that, you know, God is white, Jesus Christ is a white man? You know, if you were taught your entire life that you were nothing, and then you see this bold white man just come from out of the caves in the hills of Europe and, you know, civilize your people, man, I mean, man, we could start there, man. I'm very confused, but one thing that I do know is that, I mean, man, the white man has, like, you know, 3-4 times. Well, we already know the old saying is that, you know, a black man has it 2 times, and I would say 10 times. It's hard, you know, as a white man has an American society, because this society, American society, was never formed or founded for our benefit. We already know, if we even go back to the Constitution, I mean, shit, we were 3/5 of a human being. You know, at the time when what are those old white guys' names? The founders of the Constitution, you know, we all had black people, you know, black elders, black ancestry who were around during the time of the founding of the Constitution, man. I stand on that. I stand on that, man, and I'll die for that. Because my elders, man, my family, there's no telling what my people, man. I ain't no white man. What the hell? Shit, my people were called niggers, probably put into slavery, into bondage, treated as 4th and 5th class citizens, treated no better than a goddamn, and excuse my bad language, treated no better than a fucking pig or some type of herd animal.
Well, let's
yes, sir.
Let's
go ahead,
because I need to close this. Go really. I'm pretty sure my brother Isaiah would disagree with what I have to say on this. Well, maybe not. Maybe we can sort of have a balance. But we are, you expecting too much from a people who have only known slavery. It don't make any difference whether you was the original man, Asiatic black man, and you existed 500 million years ago, and all these stories that we're being told. It makes no difference about you did the first blah blah and created the civilization, which if you understood what civilization is, I wouldn't brag about it anyway. That was the beginning to take the independence from human beings away. It was really when you start ganging people up in one particular space like that, you start to ask yourself for trouble, because when you put people into space like that, they begin to implode on one another. That's what civilization called. Civilization, of course, did create a lot of different technologies and things of this nature, but at the same time, it took away your ability to be an independent person. You can't even get your own drink of water. You have to depend on somebody for your water. There's nothing in your house that you produce yourself. You have to get these things from outside sources. And that's not the way things should be. I was watching a show called Little House on the Prairie, a commercial for Little House on the Prairie, talking about, and this going back to the 1800s, like 1880. They said, let's go back. They talking about Little House on the Prairie. Let's go back to the 1800s, where a time when people were self-reliant. In the 1800s, every town, most not cities, but most rural towns, most of them was independent. They only used and they got what they could produce. If they couldn't produce it, I guess they didn't have it. Now we are eating bananas every day. Do you know where bananas come from? Come from very, very far away. We should not be eating bananas because that's not natural to where we live. But because of technology, because of airplanes, trucks, and buses or whatever, now you can get a banana every day. As far as it takes for a banana to get here, you can eat that every day. That's not natural for you, and you become dependent upon somebody else for your sustenance. Everything in your house, there's nothing that you got in your house that you produce. You can't even go out to a river and get you a glass of water or nothing. Everything that you got, the only thing you can do is get money, and you can't even produce. You're not even control over that. You don't give the money no value. You don't control that. You don't control that monetary value or nothing like that. You don't control nothing about it. So civilization is something really was the beginning of taking you away the human being's right to live the way that you want to live. Now you're under the doctrine of the dominant people, whoever it is that rise up in that implosion, who rise up to the top. We're going to do it my way. That's what so it don't make no difference if the ruler got black skin or white skin. You no longer have your independence. You no longer have your own human rights. You are a slave under a Caucasian, or you're a slave under somebody with black skin. I don't want to be a slave to nobody. None of that. But going back to us as a people, makes no difference what your ancestors was. We suffered hundreds of years of slavery. You don't just come, just because somebody said, y'all free after the Civil War, that don't make you free. These people, our people, have been living in this slave-like condition for hundreds and hundreds of years. It just don't go away. You just don't become free. Just because you talk about Black Power family and you done all this scholarship about the black, that don't change nothing. That you just don't, because you've never been that. You've never been independent from these Peckerwoods. Never. You was born with them in control, and you will die at the rate we're going. All of us are going to die with them in control. So what is the change? There's nothing going to change till you come from out of your oppressor. All these different things. The only reason why our people done what they done was because they was forced to. Just like a dog, like your pet dog. You can kick your dog, beat your dog, throw your dog outside, whatever. That dog still want to come in your house, even after all that mistreatment, because that's all the dog has ever known. And this is all that we ever known. So as soon as they got a chance to get back with Massa, that's what they done. They don't care what they built. They don't care what they done with their own hands. Makes no difference about all that. As soon some people blame, well, Dr. King integration. No, it was always there. It was always there, waiting for opportunity to go back home to Massa because you're a slave. And you still see a slave mindset with these people, pro-black, blackity, black. I'm not impressed by none of that. Only thing I see is a bunch of slaves. And these trolls come to my page because they know that I know that they are slaves. That pro-black, blackity black, Kemetic, Hebrew Israelite, whatever, all this old pro-black, blacky scholarship stuff, don't impress nobody, because when it's all said and done, you're a slave. Your actions show that you're a slave. How the hell can you come to me when I tell you and ask you about the Mississippi campaign and you're going to tell me it's a pipe dream, but you have not accomplished that? You are living with your master. Right now, you're living with your master. You don't control a damn thing. You don't produce nothing for you. You're going to tell me that I'm a pipe dream, so you're telling me that independence, doing your own thing, and you got to start from somewhere, take control of a city, a neighborhood. See, me, I'm thinking big. You can control a town. You can control a city. Let's think big. You are God, you're a king, and you're a queen. Let's go do the whole thing. Let's think big. Let's take control of a state that's already in existence. You too pathetic and you too pitiful to even take control of a state that you have a population of over 85%. You cannot even do that. So here we are, and you're asking all these different questions, and hell, you don't even like each other. We don't even like each other to get anything accomplished. And it's always about what a white man is, and the white people do this, and that, and that, and that. No, it's about your happy ass. It's about what you failed to do. Just like the brother was saying, him and brother Isaiah, they get along and have disagreements, whatever. You know that I have Negroes that come on my platform. They cannot do that because they want you to be a slave to whatever idea that they don't know how to come together with a brother, with a sister, and say, look, we have a common enemy. We got a common problem. Let's take our ideas. Let's see if we can blend this into one strategy and let's go for it. Either we lose. If we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. But no, see, so-and-so got to have the credit. No, you got to do it this way. Ways that have already lost. They have not done anything. We're going to die a slave. So you're asking all these questions, and we're expecting great expectations from people who have only known slavery. It feels good to say Black power. Oh, that feels great. It feels good to say Jesus too. Ain't no difference. It's all the same stuff. All feel good rhetoric. Jesus, praise due to Allah, Black power. It's all feel good rhetoric. It does not produce nothing of substance because in your mind, you're still a slave. Yes, in your mind, you're looking for, instead of being a God, you wanted to find some kind of massa. So if you're not going to serve the white man, you're going to serve another Negro or some alien spaceship that you'd have made up, some imaginary stuff that you'd have made up. You got to express yourself, find somebody to serve. Only a God, only a free man can take control of Mississippi. I don't expect nobody to embrace the Mississippi campaign because you got to be free. You cannot think like a slave. You have to have imagination. You have to be creative. You have to have a vision. You have to know, okay, because once you do that, now what? Okay, now we got the state. Now what we gonna do? So you have to have a plan, not only in 2019. What is your plan when you dead and gone? Like the forefathers of this nation, they weren't gonna live to see, and they had no idea of what the future lies for America, but they had an idea, they had a vision, and they passed that vision and that imagination, their creativity down to their future generation, so they won't have to create nothing. It's already in motion. We can't even get nothing in motion because you're a slave. A Black power slave, a Kemetic slave, a Christian slave, a Republican slave, a Democratic slave. You're expecting too much out of a people who are only known to be a slave. And then when you're dealing with somebody with a slave-like mentality, they turn on each other. That's why the trolls will come here, they will go to each other, and they turn on each other instead of turning on the problem and dealing with the problem once and for all. You rather, oh, Angel Snuff 7 is this, oh, Craig got a big head, he ain't wearing the right shirt, all kinds of foolishness instead of dealing with the problem, because that's all a slave can do. A slave has no power. A slave has no need for the ability to think. We don't think at all, period. It's all about feel-good stuff, plagiarizing people, copying what another slave said, what another slave done. And what is it getting you? And see, for me, it's all good. That's what you want to do. It's all good. But when it's all said and done, don't be shocked and surprised because you ain't getting nowhere. Of course you're not getting anywhere. You keep doing the same loser ass stuff over and over again. You keep thinking the same kind of way, which is like a slave, over and over again. We got everything that we need. We have plenty of money. We got the education. We got the talent. We got carpenters. We got people that know how to do plumbing, different infrastructure, build roads. We got all the talent we need. We got all the education we need. We got the money. We got everything. The only thing that we don't have is the mind of a free person. You don't expect that. You don't expect that from people that just came out of chattel slavery. But this is 2019. You would think that we should be doing better, but we cannot even reproduce what people that just came out of chattel slavery produce. Don't you know? And see this, I'm gonna say this. They laugh at my Mississippi campaign idea. You're not laughing at me. You're laughing at your ancestors because they was doing that anyway. If it was not for them Peckerwoods terrorizing them in the South and other places, they would have done it. We would have a Mississippi and a Georgia and anywhere where we had a big population, we would have had that long time ago. That's what they was doing because that's what free people do. We would have been running this country. Do you understand that? That's why the Peckerwood was doing what because they knew we was on our way to actually run this country. How pathetic it would be to be the slave in this country, then we turn around, now we run this mother. That's what it's about. And you still see, they had a free mentality, they had a free mindset. They didn't know what it was, but they knew they had to take care of themselves and they was on their way. We actually went back. We have a slave mentality. Go ahead, brother, and we're gonna have to get out of here.
Yeah, let me highlight something. Whiteness didn't start until the 1780s, right? And they had to preach to so-called white people that, hey, you're white and hey, you're better than black people from the church step, school step, political step, whatever. Constantly, they had to do that until the succeeding generation of so-called white people began to accept the irrationality of being white as true, as a fact. It didn't happen overnight. You're talking about at least 3 generations. That's one thing. The other thing that I have a problem with is that we weren't slaves in America. We were prisoners of war. So, but you know, that's not a debatable thing, but we can talk about it the next time we're on it. But Taalik, what I want to say, bro, is that we weren't prisoners. We weren't slaves in America. We were prisoners of war. Now, the fact that we went through Jim Crow and all of that took place after after the Civil War, and then we get into what they call that period where black were you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So from that period up until the formation of the Democratic Party that gave way to political and economic parity and dominance of white men in particular, and white women secondarily, gave them the impetus to say, hey, look, instead of competing with black people, we now have the reins of power, political and economic power through governmental agency that allow white people to become more economically enriched through de jure as well as de facto racism. And with that being said, white folks had all kinds of help. Free land, free tools, free animals, free this, free that. And especially after World War II, when the FHA, what was it, Taalik? It was the FHA, where homes were becoming more available to veterans, right, or to veterans.
Yeah.
With that increasing wealth that was being accumulated in the white community versus badly constructed homes for black people, and segregating black people into ghettos and stuff like that. That was done intentionally. It just didn't happen. And so when you begin to see the accumulative effect of de jure racism at the hands of the federal, state, and local government, and they are continuously berating, degrading, and taking away the economic impetus and force of the Black community, and making it less and less powerful, and giving way to iconographic images in which you only see Black people as being maids and butlers and chauffeurs and stuff like that. That's how it became into being. But because before that, white men couldn't get a job. They had no skills. Everybody that was doing it were Black men and Black women. That's what Taalik is trying to say. And then the other thing, Taalik, also, it's not about white, how you said, Black, white privilege and Black privilege. It's not about Black privilege and Black power. So, only. Black power is rooted in Black privilege that we lost in 1492. We ruled the world for 1,000 years. Imagine, going back to that time. I would love to go back and have me some white slaves. You know what I mean? So it's not about white privilege, Black privilege back. And that's what we were fighting for from the time we left Spain in 1492 up until about 1880. Man, we didn't give up and say, okay, well, y'all won, y'all so-called Christians or Grouse or Tamahoos won, we're gonna let you have it. We continually fought. And we are still fighting for Black power, Black privilege, Black domination, because that is what we were used to, and that is what we want, that is what our ancestors fought for, and that is what we are fighting for now. You know what I'm saying? So, in respect to what was going on in the 1960s with Black power and all of this and all that, the CIA and the FBI were dead on that shit, man. They did not want Black power to get out of hand, and that's the very emphasis of the Black. He was just Black too, but J. Edgar Hoover. He said the #1 threat to America is Black pride and Black unity. They had to do that. If they didn't do it, we would have took it over long before then. White America and white folks were destroyed after World War II. The greatest crime on white folks is white on white crime. There are more white folks killing white folks, like 92%, and the other 8% of the other people. White folks are not propagating or not having babies. To maintain a population, you need 2.1 birth rate. Their birth rate is like 0.09 to 1.1. They ain't making, they going extinct. They know this. The general population in Africa is 1.5 billion people. About 30 years ago, it was about 800 million. It's more than double. The idea that what Gaddafi was saying, if you kill me, you're going to be opening up the door to an influx of Muslims throughout Europe, and you ain't going to make it. Look at it now. It is a Muslim state already. They're not going to televise the revolution because they don't want you to get that idea. White folks ain't dumb. They might be stupid, but they ain't dumb. They ain't gonna never, ever tell you what is going on, what is really going on. But we do know, and if you pay attention to your instinct, you will know it too. And we gotta get, and my thing about it, we gotta get rid of this so-called, well, our ancestors were slaves. No, we weren't. We built America. America and every civilization on the planet is a Black civilization. We need to get that into our head. We created the 13 colonies that became the 13 states. We created the Mesoamerican civilization and the things that's going on in Canada and every place else. This is the pride in which we and I always talk about. because when you walk, talk,
I gotta get out of here, brother Isaiah. I gotta get out of here. And
okay, but that's good, man. Because I think
I want to get out of here.
I sent your friendship on Facebook, but CJ, I'm gonna get up with you, and next time we'll do this. You be in on from the beginning.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Taalik, brother Taalik. Isaiah,
stay up, man.
are you gonna be available tonight? Are you gonna be available tonight? Because I'm gonna get a hotel. Cause my truck is gonna be in the shop, and I'm gonna get a hotel, and I can I'm bring my laptop, and then we can have a discussion. You gonna be available around, I say about 5 or 6 my time Central.
It's almost 4 o'clock here. What's your time there?
I'm 2 hours ahead. I'm behind you.
Oh, okay. All right. So that'll be 7 o'clock my time. All right. Yeah, I'll be ready.
And what about you, CJ?
Brother Craig.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, what's the discussion going to be about?
I don't know, man. Really, I want to.
You don't never know.
I mean, this is a good discussion. What happened? I mean, I could. I got some books and what have you and stuff, but it's all in my head too. And that's a good discussion to last for 30 minutes. And Brother Taalik and what you said too, Craig and no, but I just want to get. I'm not trying to antagonize and ridicule. I want to get this thing that we've been talking for the last 4 months. I mean, for the last 3 years and what have you. And it's just, you know, I mean, I could talk about, and he knows it, and Brother Taalik knows I could talk about damn near anything under and over the sun. Political, social, theology, and et cetera, and what have you. But I want to have a good discussion with my brother.
Yeah.
He's good at everything, but I just want to have a discussion about scholarship.
Okay. Yeah.
Have scholarship.
Yeah.
Scholarship.
So,
all right, cool.
And
I'll be ready.
I'm gonna do it as soon as we get off. I'll send Craig the
okay.
If anything, I send Craig the link, and he can send you a friend request.
Yes, sir.
I sent you a friend request on Facebook.
Yeah, I already should be a friend of yours. Anyway, I'll make sure, brother Isaiah. I want to say before I get out of here because I need to roll. All right. I just want to make a quick comment what Brother Isaiah said real quick. He said he was making reference to our history and how we used to run things or whatever. And he said I wouldn't mind having me a couple of white slaves myself. You know, that comment sort of bothered me because if you have the same mindset of the people that you're complaining about, the only thing you're really complaining about is you just want to be the slave owner instead of the slave. And I think, so in other words, really, you're saying that slavery is all right. It's a good thing to do as long as I'm not the slave. And see, for me, I'm not with it. I don't want no white folks to be no slave. I don't want nobody to be no slave. I don't need you to do my damn work. I'm perfectly capable of doing my own work, whatever. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing good about slavery, whether it was by the Europeans or the Africans or just people treating their husband or wife like a slave and their children. I'm not into the slavery thing at all. So
I'm going to explain that tonight. I'm going to explain that tonight.
To me, yeah, y'all can talk about that later on tonight. I just wanted to comment on that real quick. I also want to say this. When you're dealing with an oppressor, I was watching a Kung Fu movie, and this guy was handicapped. He only had one arm. He worked on his strong arm to the point where you didn't even know this man was handicapped. His martial arts was so good. His one arm was just as good, if not better, than people with 2 arms. So what I'm basically saying for us, as the descendants of slaves born in America, having African or Aboriginal ancestry, however you want to see yourself or other, however you want to see it, prisoner of war, however you want to see it, you're dealing with people who are smart. You're dealing with people who are powerful. These people are so powerful right now, while we on this live stream, They could be getting their military together and run up on us while we're on this live stream, take you out your house, throw you in a concentration camp, and blow your brains out. There's nothing no black person in this country can do. That's the reason why Isaiah got the hell out of the United States. I just joke. Because this is the kind of people that we're dealing with. I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all because they have that power. So you're dealing with people who are smart and powerful. So just like this guy that's handicapped with one arm, you're not strong like them. And unfortunately, we're not that smart either, unfortunately.
Well, we'll talk about that at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, but what you have to do when you're dealing with an opponent that's stronger, bigger and stronger, like they show you in martial arts, you have to find their weak spot and deal with them from their weak point. See, this is something that we don't do. I don't know, we have some kind of delusional idea of how to deal with this oppressor. Instead of looking for the weak spot, concentrate on that weak spot because he can come down. Everything has a weak spot. I have yet to see a man, when you kick him in his balls, he ain't gonna go down. I have yet to see it. Matter of fact, sometimes all you gotta do is barely touch some of them balls and he'll go down. That's a weak spot. That's a weak spot. So hollering black power and all this type of stuff, all that's well and good, nice and dandy, but it's not teaching you how to fight. Fight an enemy that's smart, they control the media, they control your own people. They turn your own people against you. So it's a lot of factors here that they control. They smart, they in a prime position. So now you got to turn around and say, okay, I'm dealing with this. Now, how you gonna flip it around? Because you're not as smart. You don't have the power. You don't have the media on your side. Your people actually do love them. So it's about strategy, and we're not into the right strategy. So with that said, thank you, Brother Isaiah. I'm gonna come back with y'all later on too, man. What time y'all?
Okay, cool. 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
It's 7 o'clock. My
7
time.
or 8 because I got. Yeah, because I want to have a good. I mean, of course, I want y'all to get in whatever and shit, man. This is a good old discussion, man. I'm gonna tell you, Isaiah, man, motherfucker, they just nothing gonna kill your ass, not you. And when I say y'all, I'm not specifically saying y'all. I'm just saying y'all in general. Right. There's nothing up is the master of killing your ass with common sense. You don't get all that sophisticated, like getting educated. You'll kill your ass with simple common.
I'm not that smart, Brother Gary. I have to depend on other things. I don't know. I don't read. Remember, I don't read a lot of books and all that stuff. I don't do it. I just go by what makes sense to me. That's all I can do.
Yeah. You've always been like that. That's why I said you have Occam's razor. That's what you utilize. Yeah. It's called Occam's razor, and it's called Occam's razor. And that's what this Occam's razors. Occam's razor. And you utilize common sense.
Yeah.
And Isaiah is very good in finance. He's descriptive about white supremacy, but he's redundant in scholarship, and that's where I want to help him. I want to help him. He keeps talking about carbon and melon and all that kind of stuff and all that, and talk about kundalinis and flying chakras sometimes and all that. That ain't gonna do nothing or what have you. That's feel good stuff. And then he wants to sit there, like I said, like I told him, when I'm around black people, when I'm around black folks, real quick, I'm gonna say, when I'm around black folks, I don't go to black folks talking about white people. I'll go to white people and tell them about their bullshit. Mm-hmm. When I'm around black people, I go to black people and tell them about black people bullshit. Mm-hmm. All this stuff, we build the pyramids, but the white man fucked us up. We got the melon, but the white man got me.
Yeah.
White man. That's what I'm trying to say. That shit's old. It is us. First, it starts with me. Then it starts with me, and then I do what you do, because we'll talk about it till he got something to do. Because you're long-winded though sometimes. Like I said, we'll talk about trucks.
Yes, sir. Great discussion. Great discussion.
And
hey, Craig, you're gonna hear me and Isaiah talk shit to each other, but it's not personal. Believe me, we talk shit to each other about goddamn potato salad. We'll argue about potato salad. Shit.
We doing this. We doing this on the Cool Cutter channel, right?
I'll be around like 7 or 8 and what have you. And I'll give you a text.
I'm really not off into that old ancient Kemetic bull. But what I am into is like if I just pay homage to those who laid the foundation. Like 10,000 years ago, you know, we all come from a group of people. I mean, only science can prove, you know, where, you know, we were at 10,000 years ago, like our descendancy. So I just go back into that type of stuff, man. I'm not off into we built the pyramids, we were kings and queens, man. No, because I already discussed this with Taalik, man. A lot of us were farmers.
Yeah, right.
You
know, and servants and maids, and you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to sit up and live this lie.
Yeah,
and we come from kings and queens.
All right, so brother, listen, brother Gary, can you put your channel page, the link in the description? Well, actually, the link to your channel is in my description box on this video. So
on YouTube, my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I got it. It's already. Go to if you wanna see us continue this conversation and more, join brother Cuckoo Cut on his channel. The description is in the link on this video. Matter of fact, it is. Ooh. It's already, the link is already there. So we'll be back.
Right. Appreciate it.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock later on. That's like 4 hours.
7 or 8 Central Time.
Yeah, make sure you send me the link. We can join. Have another discussion. Thank you, Brother Craig, for joining my brother Craig.
Yeah, definitely.
Brother Isaiah, Gary,
right.
Gary.
Okay. And look, hey, before y'all go, look at what Julian Bumpy said. We can't live off of old glory. We need new glory. We're gonna deal with that too. So if you listen to Julian Bumpy, I'm gonna deal.
Oh, yeah, right on, Julian. Right on, Julian.
All right. And on that note, thank you for listening. Unfortunately, my Facebook failed, so they didn't get the whole program, but I just put this on my Facebook later on. And
cool.
Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, my chat room. Thank you, YouTube. And because without that, you know, we wouldn't be able to do what we do here. So thank everybody, and we'll catch y'all on the flip. Matter of fact, 7 o'clock, Cool Cutters channel. And as Dr. Cornelius always says, important, I wish us love, peace, and so we out of
all right,
stay black.